All right, okay, we should be live. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a minute. I missed last week. I was just trying to recall. I believe since I started regularly streaming, I haven't missed a single stream until last week. So I think this is the first time, even with a couple of trips to Michigan, this was the first time that I just didn't stream. So it's kind of nice to be back. It's been a minute. It has been, well, it's been 2 weeks. But it's good to see you guys again, and let me get my stream monitoring going here. Make sure everything is good to go. But how you guys been? You guys get any disc golf in over the weekend? I played a tournament. Great. Not great. Just kind of lame. But my Raleigh experience was actually pretty good. So the reason that I missed streaming last week was because of a USDGC qualifier, which was the Greater Raleigh Open. And honestly, didn't play my best disc golf, but it was a pretty good experience. I got to experience the full MPO tournament kind of treatment, which was pretty cool. So 3 rounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday round at some difficult courses in the Raleigh area. We played Diavolo or whatever, and then Buckhorn, and then back to Diavolo for the 3rd round. And it was a very interesting experience. I practiced better than I played in the tournament, again, which seems to be a recurring theme for me. But I had a good finishing round, and I believe was dead center in the middle of the pack in MPO, including a field with multiple touring pros. So it was pretty good. It was pretty solid. Not really and I still played fine. So that was kind of nice. Hey, Luke is here. Thanks for hopping on, Luke. Yes, to disc golf, lost my cigar. Oh, man. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Cigar is pretty good. How have you, not to bring up bad memories now, but how were you enjoying throwing the cigar? Because I've seen it fly a few times. I like the cicada, and I imagine the cigar would have a very nice flight to it. Threw one, yeah, for a future video I filmed with Blaze a while back. I threw a cigar a couple of times. I liked it. It flew nice. Good amount of stability without being actually overstable. All right, looking like we're cooking here with the stream. Looks good. Awesome. Hey, Carl, thanks for hopping on and joining us. Just trying to get the camera right. Some micro adjustments. That's better. All right, Luke says, very nice. A little drift, so it flew straight. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they wanted out of it because the cicada was kind of flippy. So they said, let's get a more stable version of the cicada. Let's get the Cigara out there, and mission successful. It seems to fly pretty nicely, especially for us amateur arms, just getting it out there in a straight line. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. So let's see. I went to Diavolo, and I practiced blind with my brother in a practice round on the 22-hole layout. I went 7 down. There's also a fusion layout, which basically combines 3 different sets of 2 holes. So it's a 19-hole layout instead of 22, and 6 of the holes were now 3 holes. Those were actually very difficult, and I was pretty well round 1, but I only went 2 down on that layout. And I felt like I really should have gone 4, 5, maybe even 6 down, because I did feel like it was a harder layout than the 22, but just didn't feel like I played my potential, had just tiny little things go wrong. And then Buckhorn was even more frustrating. I hit 14 of my tee shots exactly how I wanted them, and I only got 4 birdies, I think, 3 birdies. So that was very, very annoying, and I went +1 on the round, which was just frustrating. Finally, the final round was the full 22 holes, and I went 7 down, tied my practice round where I played blind, 7 down through with 1 birdie and 10 on the front 11. And that was just a weird experience. I felt like I was throwing the disc really well. I felt like I was being consistent, I was being accurate, and I just kept catching the worst breaks. I would just catch a tree in the only tree in the fairway around the corner, and I'd kick back and roll back um, prior to the corner for a worse lie. I would hit my line, but I couldn't get all the way clean through, so I'd catch a limb. I would just have an awkward putt from circle two instead of being in the edge of circle for an actual birdie opportunity. When I got birdie opportunities, I hit the cage. It was windy, blah, blah, blah. Hit the band 3 times from circle two. It's just a frustrating day. Carl says, do you speak English? See. Luke says, can't wait to get a practice round in with Tony. That's going to be exciting, dude. Yeah, you're going to be hiking around Toboggan. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot. Nick says, speak in English, please. No te preocupes. English it is. Yeah, so it was an interesting experience. But honestly, I was glad that I went, even though I just kind of played middle of the pack. I wasn't that far back from cashing. I believe I was 5 strokes back of the cash line. And I would say easily 10 strokes felt silly. Like just tiny little things, a silly double bogey on a hole, a dumb missed putt here, an unlucky lie there. And like over the course of the whole tournament, I felt like I was very, very, very close to shooting strokes better. So that was a nice indication. I did not feel like I played good disc golf, but I scored, I think, 4 above my rating. So it was pretty close. So overall, it was still like nice to get the experience. It was cool to see Nathan Queen and Grady Shue and a couple of other professionals, Michael Johansson playing the course as well, and some holes that they struggled on or were easy for them. It was very interesting. Uh, Carl says, I didn't understand you. Yeah, no habla inglés. Lo siento. Yeah, Luke, I'm sure you're going to really love hiking toboggan again. Hey, if you're not filming everything, maybe it'll be a better experience than last time. Luke, what a trooper. 5-hour practice round going up and down toboggan slopes in Michigan, filming my disc golf practice round. What a trooper. Yeah. I hope the Taco Bell ended up making it almost worth it in the end. Is it plates or frisbees behind you? Are we talking about disc golf? Yes, and these are disc golf discs back here. Thank you for asking the Punisher. This one, I believe, is a Sheriff from the chain. What is this? 2023 Chain Hawk Open. I believe this is a Sheriff. Maybe it's a Sapphire. Ah, I grabbed the Sapphire. That's right. I wanted the premium plastic Sapphire because it was a little more understable. I thought I could get more distance out of it than the Sheriff. But yes, these are disc golf discs. I play a lot of disc golf, play in tournaments. All of these discs are different. So the Sapphire flies differently than the Brave, which is going to be different than a disc. So up here we have some flippy stuff. If I throw a backhand right-hand shot, it's going to turn over to the right. What I have down here is overstable. So if I throw it, it's going to go left. Then I have stuff that's in the middle that'll go straight. And those are all just drivers. Then I have mid-ranges. They're shaped differently. They fly differently. Here's my most overstable that I think I have, the balance, or like I call it the off balance. And compared to something like an ultimate disc, for very different. You can see that even a mid-range is designed to fly further and faster, let alone a driver. It's clearly intended to be throw. That is my sweep. I haven't thrown it yet. Yeah, sadly. Oh, you aren't playing that course. A different one in Metro Park. Okay, that's good. That's good. That practice round experience will be a lot better. Hit your car. Somebody hit your disc while you were out and about living your life. That's ironic because the disc golfer himself was probably the one buying. How many discs do you take to a tournament? For me, it's about 22, 23. So I have 17 discs on the bottom shelf, drivers, mid-range, and a zone. And then I have my putters on the top. And sometimes I have an extra putter or two, so that kind of fluctuates. But I throw a Keystone and a Warden. and in the bag right now, and then I have 2 putters that I putt with. So that's usually 22 discs that I take into a tournament, and I probably only use 12 of them, but it's nice to have certain discs just in case. I always have a captain's raptor to get myself out of trouble. I always have an overstable distance driver that I normally don't throw unless I need a skip shot or a forehand or something to kind of just scramble my way into a good spot. So yeah, depending on the course, I might throw a lot of mid ranges and putters or drivers. Florida, I threw more fairway distance drivers, but in Charlotte, I'm throwing a lot more putters and mid ranges off the tee because a lot of heavily wooded landing zones you have to hit instead of wide open fairways where you want to get around the massive swamp maple or whatever. They are frisbees. Why? Why? I kind of partially it, but because disc golf discs are so wildly different from a frisbee, frisbees are pretty standard. There's only a couple of different frisbees, but this ultimate disc, what it is, it's gonna fly how it flies, and you see these played with in ultimate frisbee, which I really enjoy. But disc golf discs, I have so many of them because they all fly a little bit differently. I also want extras in case my disc gets all beat up and hits a tree a bunch of times. It's going to start flying differently eventually. So I want spares just in case I have that exact disc that I want, and I want a disc that flies exactly the same. But yeah, all of these have, well, let me explain it this way. A disc ranges in speed from 1 to 14, in glide from basically 1 to 7, in turn from -5 to +1, and in fade from 0 to 4. So with all of those ranges, think about how many different combinations there are. A 2 speed with 5 glide, a 3 speed with 4 glide, with a -1 turn and a 0 fade. Like, you can see there's a lot of different flight shapes and that these discs are going to fly. So that's one big reason that I have so many of them. The other reason is that I played a lot of amateur tournaments where they give you a disc for participating just as a player's pack. And so you do a lot of those, you're just going to start stockpiling discs. I also do disc reviews for the YouTube channel, and I've had people just give me discs because they think I might like it. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I throw it a few times and it goes on the shelf. Yeah. So I've collected a few throughout the last couple of years of playing, but I've seen much bigger collections. In fact, my brother, his disc golf collection is probably 4 times the size of mine, if not more. This is a new sport, never heard of it. Can you explain how it's played? The Punisher app. Yes, so it's very, very similar to the rules of golf, but your target is not a hole in the ground, it's a basket. So it kind of has this tray and chains, and you want to make it into the basket in as few shots as possible. Just like you have kind of the idea of the fairway, the rough, there's out of bounds. Sometimes there are actual sand traps. Sometimes it's just a hazard area where you're not supposed to play in, or you get a penalty stroke for landing in, stuff like that. But yeah, it's very fleshed out with the rules. So you need to throw from the teeing area. When you do have your disc land out in the field, you either have to play from just behind it in this little kind of piece of paper sized lie right behind your disc, or you need to mark it with a mini marker like this. You can mark your disc on a line closer to the basket, and then you can use the same disc again to throw your next shot. Or just give yourself a slightly better angle or a few extra inches closer to the basket if you're putting. I like to do that. And yeah, use your different discs to try to get to the pin as quickly as you can in as few throws as you can, I should say. So certain discs are meant for distance but not accuracy. Some are meant for a combination. A lot of mid are meant to be very precise, but they're not going to get as far. But in the woods, they might be the best way to get distance while maintaining control. And then putters are often used for getting it into the basket, whether with a little bit of a throw or a putt. But a lot of times as well, they're thrown for some accurate shots that won't go that far because putters aren't designed for distance. I can quickly show you pretty easily how a driver here is designed to go for distance, while a putter is pretty clearly designed to slow down a little bit more. It's not supposed to go as far. It's not going to cut through the air the same way. It's not going to skip when it hits the ground the same way. What are your favorite courses? I would say in Charlotte, Renaissance is one of my favorites, but they need to fix the tee pads. I just slipped a few times yesterday in my tournament. Um, Scrapyard is also way up there. Eastway is very good. Bradford is very good. As far as across the world, I haven't gotten to play too many. I played Maple Hill. Fantastic disc golf course. Really, really, really good. I would love to go back now that I've played for more than a year and a half and see how I would play it now. Um, 2 years, I went plus 24. Yeah, that was a tough one. That was tough. Toboggan is a high quality course, but it is not my style. I don't really have the wide open bomber shot as much as the accurate controlled shot. So I do better in the woods. Um, Sometimes I really like Nevin. It's a tough course, but if you hit your lines and stay in the fairway, it's a rewarding course for good shots. Olympus was very fun to play too. That's a high quality course, and they're only making it better all the time. They're fixing the stairways, they're making better benches, they're extending the tee pads, everything that they're doing there. Shout out to Paul Macbeth, of course, Kevin Kiefer, Danny McDonald, and anyone else volunteering or working to get Olympus into a really, really good shape for tournaments that are held there and the weekly leagues that they have. It's really, really cool. They've done a great job with the property. How many of your discs have been eaten by trees? I would say water is a much worse experience than trees, especially when I was in Florida. You chuck it out in the water in Florida, goodbye disc. Sorry, I'm never getting that back. I don't like alligators. I don't like water moccasins. I don't care. That disc is gone unless I have a retriever. In Charlotte, I have gone after a few discs in the water, but I still lose some if the water is too deep. I've only lost one disc in a tree that was unretrievable, 50 feet up in the tree. And for almost a year before a hurricane knocked it down, not the tree, the disc. And then somebody picked it up within a few hours and kept it. So, rip to my Terra. 2 aces with that Terra. Gone for good. Trees can be a problem, but for the most part, if you have a disc retriever, you can climb the tree, or you can just throw a stick up and knock it down. It's really not too bad, but some trees are very tall, so it can happen. It can happen. It's your boy Trev says, "What's up, buddy? Thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate it." Nick says, "Wow, that's crazy." The Punisher sounds like a very heavily sport. You'll have to check wind directions and weather before a match. Yes, it is a pretty technical sport, and wind makes a big difference. So yeah, it's definitely a huge factor for me. It's when I'm putting, it's really really a big deal because I like have a loftier putt instead of putting straight at the chains fast. I tend to putt high and drop it in. A little bit of wind, and I putt over the top, or I hit the cage and miss my putt pretty easily. So wind can make a big difference for me personally, but it will change the scores. Unlike golf, you don't actually change your teeing area because disc golf sets you up on a tee pad. It's very like it's a carpeted or concrete area versus golf where you can kind of just jump up 100 feet or however far and say, oh, you're teeing from here because it's super windy. We don't have that type of adjustment. So scores will vary a lot with heavy wind or rain conditions. Florida would have just sweeping storms that would just fly across the state. And if there's no lightning, if there's no thunder, then you just keep playing. So I caught in a few rainstorms with like playing 1 or 2 under par, and all of a sudden 4 holes, I'm 4 holes later, I have 5 over par strokes, and yeah, playing in the rain sucks. It's really tough. But yeah, wind and rain make a huge difference. Yeah, yeah, especially if there's out of bounds. While some play games, you are giving actual knowledge. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to. And it's kind of funny that you say that because I have also started a YouTube gaming channel as well. Um, I'm not very good at it. I'm much better at disc golf. So here I am chilling, hanging out, but I'm glad to share some knowledge. And honestly, I will say disc golf is an easy to try sport. It's hard to get good at it, but it's very easy to try it. Even if you just have a frisbee, if you find a local disc golf course, most of them are free, in the United States at least. And you can just go around, throw in the frisbee, see how many tries it takes you to get to the basket, or how many throws it takes you to get there, and just have a good time. Starter packs are very cheap. For $30, you can probably get a starter pack, 3 discs, driver, mid-range, and putter, and you can just try out the sport. Just gonna get the experience. It's great for families. It's great for couples. It's just a really good way to spend time outside, get some good exercise, but it's not incredibly strenuous. Whatever you're capable of is what you're able to give and what you'll be able to get out of disc golf. If you're trying to like really compete like me, or if you're like a D1 athlete, like you can really go far in disc golf. But if you just want to have fun, disc golf is there for that. It's there to have a good time. You'll probably get some highlights here and there, but you might not be trying to score competitively under par in a tournament. You can still have a great time at leagues with friends. So yeah, there's just a lot of good to disc golf. It's such a great way to get the fresh air, spend time with people that you care about, and get some good exercise. So highly recommend it for just a sport to kind of just pick up and try. A lot of people try once and play for their lifetime or 20 years. So whichever one comes first. It's your boy Trev. We have a point series championship in 2 weeks, 5 rounds, A tier. Whoa. Okay, so point series championship is an A tier. Wow. That's interesting. I have done some point series, but the point series finale is always unsanctioned so that we can win cash. Like all of the qualifying rounds to earn points are sanctioned rounds. But man, that's huge, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. 2 weeks, 5 rounds, A tier. Good luck, man. That's great. You're going to kill it. William says, what tournament in Raleigh I learned how to play at Kentwood near North Carolina State? Was the Greater Raleigh Open, and we played at Diavolo and Buckhorn, or Diavolo, whatever. I like saying it wrong. So we played at Diavolo and Buckhorn, and I want to like Buckhorn, but I don't. But I did birdie from the long pads, hole 7, hole 7, and I was one of 3 birdies out of 73 in the MPO field. It's pretty much my only highlight from Buckhorn. The funny thing is I was trying to go for par, and I accidentally threw too far on my upshot and got to 15 feet from the basket. I was risking throwing into the water. It was kind of crazy. Let's see. Bender says, to the Punisher, starting out, you don't have to worry about the technicals. Just go out, chuck the disc, and have fun. That's true. When you're trying to compete at the highest level, it is a very technical sport. If you're just going to a local course, a local park, and playing disc golf, the bar is low. It's just fun. So that's a really good point, Bender. Thank you. Luke says, is that disc that is at Northside, the one up in the tree? Yes, that was my Terra, and that fell down, I believe, from Hurricane Helene, knocked it down, and somebody scooped it up pretty quick. Like I played the next day and it was already gone. Already gone. Munchie says frisbee basket. Yeah, it's a disc golf basket, but yeah, I mean the idea is take your disc, your frisbee, and try to make it into the basket. So yeah. It's your boy Trev says wind is the hardest to play in, I think, and it just depends on how much wind. But obviously, some places are super duper windy, like Kansas, ripping wind. Luke and I played in Michigan at the range, and we had 40-mile-per-hour gusts, sustained 30-mile-per-hour wind, and that was not possible to play in. But we had so much fun. It was just this ridiculous round of disc golf. It was crazy, but we had a good time. Wind can be brutal, but if it is absolutely pouring rain and you don't have someone holding an umbrella for you, there's just nothing you can do to keep your thumb and your disc dry. So when you go to throw, that thing just slips out of your hand. Poof, gone forever. Yeah, it makes me sad. I think I would rather play in wind than rain because I don't handle the rain well, but I feel like in the competitive sphere, I can handle the wind better relative to my competition. I don't handle the wind well, the rain well in competitive circumstances. I feel like other people do better. But it depends on how much wind. You get it over 50 miles per hour, there's just nothing you can do. R2 says, hello. Hey, thanks for hopping on, man. Punisher says, this sounds fun. I'll check it out for sure. It sounds like a fun sport to play with friends. And I'll even say I have seen in Florida groups of 60 to 80-year-old friends. They play 2-3 times every week, and they have a ton of fun. And they take a little bit extra time to play, but like I'm playing through, they're all saying hi, recognizing me, and I'm saying hi to Curtis and to the other four guys that I don't know, and they let me through, and they're just having a blast. They like hanging out, playing disc golf, and yeah, I'm sure the guy that wins is like, yeah, I won, but they don't care. They're just having a good time together. I play a lot with my brother, and that's a really cool way that we're able to spend time together because we actually both competed in the Greater Raleigh Open. So we got an Airbnb, traveled to Raleigh, played some good old video games, got our practice rounds in, did an escape room, just a really nice weekend. Other than the way that we played our first two rounds, that was not great. Not great. Nick says, it's easy. I've played a lot, but putting that disc into the basket, that's hard. Yeah, I mean, it depends. You obviously need to learn how to throw a disc because it's not like throwing a frisbee. You throw a frisbee, you think this is easy. You throw a disc, you're like, why does it just go left? I can't get it to go anywhere. So you need better grip, better power, better swing. But once you get that down, yeah, throwing a disc isn't too hard. But putting, yeah, putting is win or lose tournaments. If you can get to the putting green and make your putt, you're going places. If you're missing your putts, there's just no way you're going to be competitive unless you're Evelina and somehow win worlds. Favorite disc for beginners? Great question. One of my favorites would be the Soul. Shout out to my buddy Blaze. I bag a Soul. This is an ESP Soul, a little less flippy, but my Crystal or Big Z Soul is designed to be easier to throw, so you don't need as much speed, as much power, or as much good form, and you can get the disc to go turn right and go like pretty far. So a Soul is a really good example. Something to look for beginner discs is a low speed. So this is a 4 speed, and this is on a scale of 1 to 14. So 4 speed, low speed, and then the third number, -3. You really want a negative number as that third number, preferably a -2, -3. That means the disc isn't diving to the left. If it's like a 0 or a 1, that disc is trying to dive to the left. If it's a -2, 3, -4, -5, the disc is trying to go right. So when you throw it, that means it can go a little bit right, and as it slows down, it'll come back left. So I recommend the Soul for beginners if you're feeling like you're not as much a beginner, but it's still a new player, but you want to go to the driver category. I suggest that you start with the Brave or the River, some drivers that are meant for a lot of glide and distance, but they don't have as much speed. So you don't need to be able to nearly as fast. Yeah, so that's the Soul. I recommend the Soul. Yeah. Another thing to remember about the speed of a disc is the speed is not how fast the disc can go. The speed is how fast you need to be able to throw it for it to fly properly. So a 14 speed disc requires you to throw at level for it to fly correctly versus a 7 speed disc that doesn't nearly as much arm speed to get it to that it should. So I always recommend if you're going to go for a driver, go for a 7 speed. It's the lowest speed, but you can still get a lot of distance and you can get some huge throws out of 7 speeds that you're not going to be able to get out of something fast. Okay. William, while you were in Raleigh, did you play Kentwood? It's the oldest course. We did not. We played, what was that course? Shoot, there's 2 courses. One of them is next to like goats and sheep and some cows. It's like on this campground. There's 2 courses. We played one course. The other course looked easier. What was that course called? I can't recall, but it was quite good. It was outside of Raleigh. And then we played Diavolo, Buckhorn, and then we played Middle Creek. So those were our 3 course experiences. And we focused up because we were competing. Not to mention, it's a heat advisory weekend. So we really didn't do like exploration disc golf for fun. It was on the way up, we played a course, and then it was compete Friday, rest, compete Saturday, rest, compete Sunday, play Middle Creek with one of my brother's friends on the way out, and then head home. So we really didn't explore too much Raleigh-wise, as far as disc golf is concerned. So I don't believe that we played Kentwood, unless Kentwood is that um, campground with 2 courses. I don't think it is. Do you throw backhand or forehand or both? 98% backhand. So I'm almost all backhand, but I have been working on the forehand. It's coming along. I can mostly do upshots. So zone forehands are fine. Berg forehands are good. And so I'm just kind of working on it. But yeah, I can throw way further backhand, way more consistently backhand. So if I have the choice, it's backhand. Even if the basket's off to the right for me, I'll throw a backhand turnover over a forehand. Unless I need ground play or something crazy. Any tips to get my putts in from further away? I practice all the time, but can't putt the disc in from over 40 feet out. Who is Peter? Great question. There's a lot that goes into it. Depends on your putting form, depends on your grip, depends on your stance. I do have a putting. I don't talk too much about grip, but I do talk a lot about putting mentality and how to practice well. So I'll give myself a tiny little shout out to that putting tips video. It's called. So I would say, just to assume, if you're able to hit putts, but when you 40 you struggle, I would assume what's happening is you're not finding that you generate the power as well. So there's a few things you can do to generate power and keep your form. If you're spin putting, you can step putt, or kind of like you can jump putt. I straddle jump putt. So when I stance out, my legs are like this, not staggered, but straddle, like perpendicular. And I kind of have a push putt. So I jump and push putt, jump as I let go, not jump and then let go, because you can't do that. So with a spin putt, you can start doing that. You can start shifting your weight back and kind of pushing yourself into the putt, pushing your back foot, your getting some power with your back foot and pushing yourself forward into your front leg and generating power on your putt like that. If you're not spin putting, you can try spin putting, but I push putt and I can jump putt up to, I'm not making it, but I jump putt up to 120 feet for my upshots. My longest putt I've made in a round was 97 feet. So you can make some long putts with a push putt, but you need a higher ceiling, and you're going to have to generate that power with a jump putt. So yeah, that might be kind of what you're missing, is generating that power. So experiment a little bit with your legs. Try to crouch a little bit more into it, stand up, try to shift your weight forward as you putt, and then try a little bit with a couple of different steps or jumps with your putt. See if you can jump like Niklas Antila has kind of a staggered jump putt where he'll really step into it and spin forward. Or Kevin Jones, who has just a straight up straddle jump putt from 33.1 feet. That's what he's doing. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're doing specifically. Yeah, but great question. It's a good question, and it's something to keep working at. I would also say get yourself out to 60 feet and just try to hit metal a couple of times. You might move back up to 40 and be like, oh, I can actually kind of hit the chains now. Might help. Mason says, going to I lived in Michigan for 25 years, 3 years in Florida. So I play disc golf in Michigan occasionally, and I don't stop in Ohio on the way. So playing in Ohio, I don't know when I would be really like playing or competing in Ohio. I'd have to find out about a big tournament and coincide it with a trip to see family or something like that. So Ohio, not on the top of the list for disc golf destinations for me. Definitely behind Colorado. But yeah, I might be able to play in Ohio at some point. It'd be cool. I'd love to play through on my way to Michigan, but it's an 11-hour drive, so it's hard to be like, take a 3 hour, well, I guess if it's just me, I'm not filming, take an hour and a half to play a course. You could probably do it. Robert says, what's up, man? Enjoy your videos. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad, and keep watching. No, that's really cool. Thanks for the encouragement. Appreciate it. Mason says, lightweight, low speed. Yes, lightweight, low speed helps a lot. Good. Ooh, Kyle says, what's your first disc? My first disc was a Sidewinder and a Stingray. My brother gave me this Stingray as my mid-range, and it didn't look like this, but this G-Star Sidewinder or Star Sidewinder, really, really loved this. This was my first driver. Took me a while to get used to it, but I threw a lot of great shots with the Sidewinder before I outgrew it. It's very flippy, so when I started actually throwing well, it started turning over too much. So I had Garrett Gerthy sign it, and from there, it was just like every pro that I was able to meet at a Pro Tour event, I was like, please sign my disc. And now I don't throw it. It's not a throwing disc anymore. It is a shelf disc. And then the Stingray was my first mid-range. Stingray got me my birdie, and it was a throw-in from like 90 feet. So thank you, Stingray, for going in the basket that one time. Really helped me stay hooked. Absolutely. Those were some of my first discs. Some of my discs that have been in the bag the longest: Soul, Dynasty. It's so flippy now because it's been in the bag for so long. And Echo are a couple of my oldest. And the Warden. Warden was my first putter that I bought and started using, and it made the bag and it's never left. Although I have replaced it over and over again with new Wardens. Hey, Brent's here. So shout out to Brent for a 1,030 rated round yesterday. Not too bad. Only missed one 8-foot putt, so honestly, it was almost a good round. But no, obviously, 1,030 is fantastic. Tied for hot round of the day. Not tied with me. I did not play that well, unfortunately. Had a rough round, just nothing went my way. But everything was pretty clean for Brent, bogey free. If you don't count him missing the easiest birdie putt in the world, didn't really make any mistakes and had a great round. Luke says, boo, hashtag Team Brad. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate that. Support means a lot. Brent, with 3 comments, already has the #1 crown. What is this? Who is Peter says, if you go to Ohio, please try Echo Valley Disc Golf Course at Patricia Allen Park. I'll have to try to keep that in mind. I'm sure that it's a fantastic course. So yeah, if I find myself going through Ohio and thinking I'm disc golf here, that will be at the top of the list. I'll try to make that happen. Yeah. Is it middle to, let's see, Ohio? I guess I kind of go up toward Columbus and then I go west until I swing up into Michigan. So is that in Eastern Ohio or is it Western Ohio? Because I probably won't make it to Western Ohio anytime soon. Who's Peter also says, my favorite disc is the Mako 3. Yes, I'm boring, but what's your favorite disc? Mako 3 is a great choice. I don't know if I have one right now. I think I gave mine away. I had multiple Makos and Mako 3s that I have lost, let someone borrow, and they lost. Thank you, Devin, for forehanding that over the fence and given away. So I don't think I have a Mako 3, but it's a great disc. My favorite disc, I'm torn, but the Echo makes top of the list. Echo, top of the list. I have 2 in the bag, sometimes 3. And this one was dyed by Moontree Dyes. Shout out. And really, really nice. Just this dead straight, gentle turnover mid-range. It's just such a workhorse in the bag for me. Fantastic. And then when I am going for more power, it's the Brave. I love the Brave. It made the bag so fast when I started throwing it. And I wish that I had my original Brave because it was absolutely money. But I have since gotten myself 6 Braves to replace it. So we're doing well. Those would have to be top 2 favorite discs. Soul is really high up there. FD1 is a mainstay for me in my bag. The Enigma I'm throwing a lot. And of course the Warden, I'm using it for almost everything within 120 feet. It's a Warden. And with some throws. Bender says, my favorite was the Star Destroyer. Found it in a tree, then lost it at the same course to a tree. That is funny. That is funny. Sorry that happened, but that is funny. Yeah, Star Destroyer, that's probably the way to go. If you're going to throw a Destroyer, make it Star Plastic. I have a Calvin Destroyer, and if you haven't seen how I organize things, flippy to more stable to more overstable, there's a Calvin Destroyer. It is one of the most beefy distance drivers that I have. It's just ridiculous. But I just felt like I had to own it. So I bought it from a friend, and I'm glad that I did. it is so overstable. It's crazy. But a Star Destroyer is going to fly pretty differently for sure. But yeah, that's a good choice. The Destroyer Classic. Classic Innovidisc to choose for a favorite. It's nice. Who is Peter says, you'll love the park. Probably one of the best in Ohio, if not the best. All right, here we go. Ohio Disc Golf Echo Park. If this doesn't say top 5 in Ohio, then we're going to have words. 4.7 rated is pretty good. Number 1 in Ohio and number 50 in the world. Look at that. Look at that. It is the best as of 2025. It is awarded number 1 in Ohio. Is it a new course? A newer course, or has it been there for a while? Let me see. 2023 at least, so it's not the newest course. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, best course in Ohio. If I am gonna try to play an Ohio course, it would be the one. Robert, I drive semi for a living coast to coast, trying to put a basket on UDisc in all 48 Continental. Hope to run into you. That's amazing. If you're ever in the Charlotte area, you have a decent chance of running into me. I'm out a lot. That's really, really cool. All 48 Continental States, that's a very worthy goal. And for driving like that, it's such a good sport because you don't need a team to participate in. You don't need to make an event happen on your schedule. You can, I don't know how your schedule works, but according to the gaps you have in your schedule, you can find a course and get a quick round in. So cool, that opportunity. So I'm really glad for that for you, and I'm glad that you have disc golf. And man, a course in every state, that's super cool. I hope you get that. That's really awesome. John Kelly, we got to hit Renegades Trail next time you're in Michigan. Love to play around with you. Not nearly as good, but can hold my own. I don't discriminate based on talent level, which is why I play with Brent. No, it's definitely not something that concerns me. I like to have a good time, and yes, I'm going to be playing usually to try to score well for me, but I'm not always looking to the person I'm playing with, thinking, "Am I beating them? Are they close? Are they better than me?" Not really interested in that, unless it's my brother, in which case it is on. It is on. I beat him in the Greater Raleigh Open. Actually, the only 2 times that I have played in the professional division with my brother, I beat him. Huh. Good to know that. Yeah, Renegades Trail is a fantastic course. Definitely, and I'm of the opinion it is best experienced if you can do Renegade and River's Edge, because 2 types of course makes you need to be good at 2 types of golf. Renegades is, depending on how the OB is, it's kind of, it's kind of the open shots, stay in bounds. You're hitting landing zones, but they're kind of generous. And then River's Edge is shot shape, deal with the mosquitoes, and don't throw in the water. All right, hold on. I got to get rid of my hiccups. Okay, so yes, Renegades Trail, fantastic. Number 2 course in Michigan. Toboggan, of course, being number 1. The Deglow course, who would have known? But yeah, I feel like River's Edge is actually close, except it's hard to upkeep. That's probably the weakest point of River's Edge, is it's just really hard to, it just gets muddy, the mosquitoes get really bad, and it's hard to get back in there and clear stuff out versus the wide open, just mow it when you need to for Renegades Trail. But yeah, that would be really great, John. I'd love to play around with you there if possible. That'd be awesome. Robert says 100% UDisc and Uber. Stay active out in nature. My folks are from North Carolina. We'll message you when in Charlotte. Go Panthers. Nice. Yeah, I definitely. It's interesting. The Panthers mean nothing to me because I don't really follow too many sports, and I just moved here 6 months ago. But I appreciate the sentiment, and I will take it to heart. But yeah, that'd be really, really cool, man. UDisc and Uber. Uber. I just said Uber. Ugh. Heck yeah. Okay, that's awesome. That is great. So let's see. Coming up, I have Amateur Worlds. Amateur Worlds in what, T minus 16 days, 15 days, right? Because it starts on Tuesday. It's already here. It's kind of crazy. 2 weeks, I will be in Missouri for Amateur Worlds. I don't feel prepared. I've been playing mediocre disc golf for like this year, and I'm feeling like it's going to be a rough tournament. But U.S. amateurs at Toboggan, not styled to my game at all. I haven't combed through the courses that we're playing for Amateur Worlds, but it seems like there's not as much as a heavy reliance on massive distance and elevation throws, which I'm very happy about. I think that brings me back in it. I think I have a much better chance of being relatively competitive at, the upper part of the field. I don't think that I have any real chance of winning or anything like that, but I would love to be top 25 for Am Worlds. That would be amazing. That'd be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to be traveling to Am Worlds. I'm going to be traveling to Missouri, I think 4 days before, playing all three of the courses to get my practice in. I'm planning to film my practice rounds at all three courses, provided it's reasonable to film at them. I don't know what things are going to be like. I don't know how many people are going to be there practicing. I'm not going to be blocking people from prepping for a tournament. Absolutely not. But if I can set up the camera and get my 3 shots on every tee pad, figure out every single hole that I think I reasonably should understand, and catch it on film, that'll be pretty fun. So that's my hope. I don't see a way that I could have any of my rounds of U.S. or of Amateur Worlds filmed. I don't have any family in the area. The only people that I know will be competitors. So I don't think there's a way to get anything on camera in the competition itself. Maybe if I make final round, I'll have a buddy who doesn't. Maybe something like that could happen. But I'll try to keep you guys informed. I'll try to take you with me, give you glimpses of practice rounds, and I'm planning to live stream on Sunday night because we're not competing until Tuesday. So I'll be giving you some updates from Missouri in a couple of weeks. Very excited about that. Coming soon. Robert says, disc golf all day. Heck yeah. Yep. Robert says, good luck. We'll be rooting for you and following. Thank you. Dave says, who's more disappointed in you, your mom or your dad? Both watch, so you'd have to ask them. Maybe they'll answer in the comments. Good luck at Am Worlds. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you hopping on and being here. Dave 7 projecting a bit. Oh, that's good. I'm very fortunate. Both of my parents are incredibly wonderful people. They're very godly. They're very encouraging, very kind. I think that they did a great job raising us kids, and they're very encouraging and supportive of my disc golf ventures. Hosting me when I was competing at Toboggan, and my dad caddied for me. He is a pastor, and he was recovering from surgery, so he could only do one of my 3 rounds at Toboggan. He couldn't do Sunday, and he couldn't rest on Saturday and do Sunday. So that was unfortunate, but it was really nice to have him on the bag and filming that practice round. Such an encouragement to have that closeness with my parents. So shout out to my parents, who are pretty awesome. But yeah, Am Worlds is going to be something crazy. It's the only opportunity that I have to compete at Amateur Worlds. I have never been in the past. Last year, I was hoping to play U.S. AMs and Am Worlds. That fell through, unfortunately, which was even more tragic because Am Worlds was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I went to college in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I would have loved to stay with a buddy and visit my college friends who still live in the area, see my family, and be there for U.S. amateurs with my family. Oh, it would have been so convenient. Didn't happen. Bummer. But I do have my opportunity. Missouri is only a 13-hour drive away. Yeah. So I'm doing that by myself. That's going to be fantastic. I'm thinking podcasts all the way there, music all the way back. I think that's the way to split it. Hey, Doc's here. Thanks for hopping on. Hashtag Team Brent. Yes. Team Brent with the 1,030 rated round at Renaissance Park. It's pretty nice. It wasn't bad. The funny thing is, like, Brent played well, but it didn't seem like Brent was playing out of his mind. Like, he was just playing good golf. So that's good for a doubles partner because now I know that his potential is really high. So I'm expecting Brent to play 1,040 rated rounds in USDGC doubles in the fall. And I think I can get away with just some 970 rated golf, maybe a few good putts here and there, and we'll take top 10. So thank you, Brent, for carrying, doing all the heavy lifting for USDGC doubles this fall. Appreciate you, man. Matt K, thanks for hopping on and joining us. Howdy. Robert says, parents are the best. Good parents are even better. Yeah, absolutely. Not everybody has had great experience with their parents. I am very blessed, very, very blessed to have had wonderful parents. Some people lose their parents. Some people truly have evil, awful parents. And I feel awful for those people because I have had such a blessing. So it's kind of hard to just broadly say parents are great because so many parents are great. But it just kind of, it really makes the good parents shine to see other parents not. It's kind of a sad way to look at it, but again, grateful. Grateful, grateful. Matt K, are you going to Ledgestone? Ledgestone is not the plan. I am aware of its kind of being on the way. My buddy Jacob Stoner is planning to go to Ledgestone, so I kind of have this idea in my mind of maybe I swing through, maybe I kind of tag along. I don't think so. I think I'm going to really focus up on doing, like, this is my last opportunity. I will be, after USDGC doubles, I will be playing in MPO and accepting cash if I make cash. I won't be going back to amateur. So this is my chance at Amateur Worlds, and I'm going 1,000% in. I'm going to be there early. I'm going to be scoping out the courses. I'm going to be taking my practice seriously. I'm going to be putting as much as I can in the time leading up to the tournament. And I don't want to say I have high expectations, but I really want to give my all at Am Worlds because it's my one and only shot. So I would love to put up a placement that I can be proud of. I would love to place in a position where, for the next 2 years, that can be something that I look back on and say I did a good job. So that's my hope. That's my hope. I always knew Brent was the real talent. Of course you did. Of course you knew that, Doc. Matt says, good luck. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, Brent's all right. He's I've seen better, obviously. He's okay. He's okay. He's played like 4 times better than I have, though, so I feel like he should be 4 times better than me, and he's 5% better than me. It's kind of sad, really. Actually, Brent's rating is about to take a nice jump. Next Tuesday? Next Tuesday, in a week. My rating is there's a little tiny little boop, just got to step upwards a little bit. I'm thinking 2 ratings points if I'm lucky. None of my rounds have been that good, but my crappy media, I feel like an idiot. I'm frustrated because I can't birdie rounds have been my rating or just above it. So has been a blessing. That has been nice. My crappy, dinky little rounds have been 967 or 971 rated rounds. So that's nice. It's definitely not my ideal because I want to be putting up 990 to 1010 rated rounds regularly. Unfortunately, that just hasn't been happening this year. This year has been weird. It's been strange. Not my best, not my competitive best. But I'm hoping to peak it at Am Worlds. That'd be really nice. But as I was saying, I'll probably up 1 or 2 points. Brent's probably going up 6 or 7. He had 2,020 plus rated rounds this month, and I think he only had 3 rated rounds this month. So yeah, he's probably going to jump up nicely. Let's see. Doc says, did I miss the discs you won? Did you miss the discs that I won? Did I win discs? Are you talking about the giveaway? Because I will shout out coming soon. Well, I shouldn't even say coming soon. Already out is my collaboration video with Disrespect with Cam. Watch those videos, they're a ton of fun. We actually, speaking of Renaissance and Brent, it was Renaissance. We played the mixed layout at Renaissance, best shot doubles. We set a line at 11 under par, and I won't spoil anything, but we were planning to give away 2 discs if we do beat that line of 11 down, and if we fail, we're giving away 3 discs. So Cam already, I believe, in the giveaway on his side of things, but I have not yet run the giveaway. So this redemption here is going to be given away next week in the live stream. So disc giveaway next week to be entered to possibly win this redemption. You just have to go to that video. I think I called it Disrespectful Doubles. Go there, be subscribed to me, and leave a comment on that video. It will help if you watch the whole thing, helps me. But either way, get to that video, enter yourself in for a chance to win this redemption. That's the only way to have an entry. That's going to end Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. EST, which is the 9th. August 9th at 11:59 p.m. EST. The giveaway entry period will end, and then I will run the giveaway during the live stream on the 10th next Sunday. Okay, I think I covered everything with that. So, yes, disc giveaway will be happening. Otherwise, I don't know what Doc is talking about. Matt says, 2 buddies and I are 5th time going. Nice. That's really great. It's something that I wish, like 2 years ago, I was not good enough. Last year, I was good enough, and I was actually playing maybe even slightly better disc golf than I'm playing right now. Super encouraging. Yeah, so I wish I could have gone last year. This year, I'm on my way out of MA1. I'm pushing to MPO, and I feel like it's time. So it's my one and only shot. But I'm glad that you guys are able to play and enjoy it multiple times. Doc says, 1,000 rated disc golf, 1,000 rated in our hearts. Hashtag Team Brent. So cute. Didn't get any discs from the tournaments. Oh, no. Good question. No. I played MPO, so Greater Raleigh Open, played professional, no players pack, no discs, prize, no prizes, no, nothing like that. It was very much a USDGC qualifier, so it was top 2 MPO and top FPO player have the ability to play in USDGC for competing, and I was not close to that. But otherwise, yeah, 3 rated events, 2 of them above my rating. Not amazing. My last round was good. I think it was 992 rated, I think. It was good, but I threw 20 out of 22 tee shots exactly how I wanted to, and I had 1 birdie in the first 11 holes. Didn't make sense. And then on the last second 11, I managed to get 6 birdies and tie the score that I put up playing blind. 7 down. It's a weird tournament. Anyway, did you get a Brave, Project Grip Brave? What happened to the wrong ones they sent? I need closure. Yes, I got you. All right. Ugh. Coming soon, partially filmed and partially written, Project Grip Rive reviews. Coming soon. So I actually have the script and everything. I just need to record it and finish editing the video. So I have 2 Project Grip Rives. I have 2 Project Grip Graces. I ended up electing to keep, and I separately purchased a Project Grip Brave. That is not here yet. It will be here this week. But yes, long story short, I ordered 2 Project Grip Braves, was very, very, very excited about them and about a disc review. And then I received 2 Project Grip Graces. Reached out, said, hey, you guys sent me graces. What do we do? They said, well, we'll send you a shipping packet, shipping label. You send those back to us and we'll get you the Braves. So I said, that's super inconvenient, but okay. They said, oops, we don't have any more Braves. Can you just send us the graces? And I was like, I'll just keep them. So I kept them and bought the Brave elsewhere. Kind of a little bit frustrating. I didn't really blame them because I'm sure they're just following their own company policy. I did kind of mention the YouTube channel, and they said we already have like specific sponsorship agreements, and we don't act outside of those, so we can't just give them to you or give you a discount to keep them for a review. So you just have to send it back. And I was like, well, I'll just keep them. Well, I say keep them, but I paid for them. Like, I paid for them. Have you played Balboa Park? Eli says. I doubt that I have. I don't know it by that name. No course is called Balboa Park. Balboa Park. I'm not finding a disc golf course. Oh, Morley Field Disc Golf Course. Okay, it has a different technical name, so it was not showing up in the UDisc search. Morley Field Disc Golf Course, San Diego, California. No, I have not been to California. I have not played disc golf anywhere further west than Georgia, Florida, Illinois, whatever is furthest west. So no, I have not. But it sounds like a great course. California would be classic disc golf. It would. Doc says, Eli, do you have to run up all those steps and eat a raw egg to play Balboa Park? Hashtag Rocky. Doc says, did like the Brave, not sure if it's MVP knockoff attempt. You're saying the plastic types? It's definitely not because of the way that they put their plastic together. It's clearly not gyro. Like it's very much, not only is gyro, I believe, patented, but you must be MVP. You are MVP. Like you can clearly see the gyro is taking the rim versus the inside and saying, boom, boom, these are separate. But the Project Grip is clearly not just a gyro tip. It's not just a chunk of rim the way that they did it. In fact, I'm not even sure where that dividing line comes into play between their two plastic types. I think I kind of see it loosely underneath. You can see that line there, but I'm not sure exactly how they kind of differentiate it a little bit. I think I can kind of see it, but the way that it's the full rim, like clearly that it is a different design than just I don't want to say just because MVP has made good developments, but in contrast to the gyro being just like boom, boom, this plastic, that plastic. They've clearly been able to meld these two together and have this entire rim be a continuous piece instead of the rim being a partial gyro piece. So clearly it's different. And I don't think that MVP has any sort of corner on the market of melding plastics together. I mean, Discmania, the Bistro boxes, they were combining two types of plastic with their discs. So I don't see how Latitude 64 is kind of ripping off anything that MVP has done or is doing. In fact, I would say that multiple other companies have probably made discs with two plastic types before. Maybe not as successful as MVP, but I don't think that MVP started it. Yeah. Logan says, hello, just subscribed. Where are you from? I am from the Charlotte, I live in the Charlotte area, North Carolina. I grew up in Michigan, played for 3 years, and now 7 months in Charlotte. So yeah, I live here now. North Carolina is great. Charlotte is amazing for disc golf. Tons of great courses. It's been a really, really good disc golf experience, and it's been nice for filming. Yeah. Where are you from? Logan says, do you only throw MVP or do you throw every brand? Great question. I think I have 11 different brands in the bag. So I have a Mint disc. Well, if you count MVP and Streamline different, stuff like that. So I have a Mint, I have Dynamic, I have Latitude, Streamline, I have Discraft, I have Innova usually in the bag. I have what's the Wild Honey? Clash. I have Discmania. I had an Axiom. I had so yeah, I'm constantly cycling in and out what manufacturers I have. I do tend to like Latitude 64, particularly the Royal Grand Plastic. Although I'll say ahead of time, I'm loving the Project Grip. I'm loving it. Feels really good. I love the Discmania S-Line plastic, and I love the Streamline Cosmic Neutron. Those are three of my favorite plastics. They just feel so good. I really like them. I like the Discraft Z-Flex plastic. So there's a lot of good plastics out there, but if a disc flies well, it probably makes the bag. If it flies how I need it to, it's in the bag. So yeah, I'm not tied down to a manufacturer. I've enjoyed MVP. I've tended to do disc reviews of MVP Streamline because I was given those discs to do the review on when I was in Florida, which is really nice. But yeah, just happenstance. Doc says, I hate to agree with you, but I see your points. Brad, have you thrown a Lat 64 Bryce? I've never heard of a Bryce. I don't even know if it's spelled. With Doc, you don't even know if it's spelled correctly. Oh, looks like it is spelled correctly. What do you know? That's a shock. Excuse me. 96-22. Sounds like a disc I would really like. The first double mold driver in the lat line. Gold line plastic with opto flight plate. So that's more clearly the MVP gyro technology. At least it's a lot closer to it versus the Project Grip. But yeah, that one you can really tell that they're even calling it double mold instead of over mold. Oh, it's out of production. It's already out of production. What? There's not that many ratings. What? Weird. Anyway, yeah, no, I have not. I have not thrown the Bryce. I have not ever heard of it until just now. Yeah, Logan, live in Illinois, pretty close to Delwood Park. Okay, let's see. Illinois, I played one round in Illinois. It was in Algonquin, Illinois. Buddy had a wedding, and I actually missed the full bachelor party disc golf experience. But we did get a round in before the wedding. Not the day of. A couple days before the wedding, which is really nice. Logan says, for favorite brand, probably Discraft, but throw Innova and MVP. Those are three of the powerhouses for sure. Those are up there. Bryce was their overmolded disc. Yeah. Logan, thrown a few Lat 64. Lat 64 is interesting because they don't have their trilogy, so they share with Dynamic and oh gosh, now I look like I'm not a true disc golfer. I always forget Dynamic, Latitude, and you guys always have to tell me what I forget. West Side. West Side. No one told me. I remembered. So yeah, Latitude, Dynamic, West Side. So they fill in each other's gaps. So if you're just going Latitude, which plastic-wise I tend to do because I like them more, then you can't go all in on just Latitude. You're probably going to be missing a few things, have some gaps that are just filled in better by Dynamic and West Side. So that's opposed to like Discraft, where Discraft has everything. Innova has everything, just by themselves. MVP a little bit more toward everything, but they do have kind of gaps as well that Axiom and Streamline are kind of filling for them. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Latitude is good. They've got a lot of great discs. People love the Rive. I've enjoyed it. People love the Grace, the Brave, the River, the Fuse. Johnny McRae loves his fuses. They're pretty good mid-ranges. They're pretty good. Pure. Yeah. Doc says, not throwing a lot of Discraft. Buzz and Heat. Well, I'm sure you've thrown a zone, right, Doc? Bryce is a fun disc. It's awkward, so you know I got one. Also, the Ching mid-range with the thumb imprints all around it. West Side. West Side, though, has moved off the Dynamic Disc website. Oh, yeah. I heard a little bit about West Side drama. I don't even know what to say about it. Interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure what the move is there. But I have to say, I'm glad that Latitude is good plastic. Throwing the Harp from West Side, that's it. Harp was the first West Side disc that I threw. And I called it Wild Card for a long time because it had a playing card on it. I think it was a Joker or something. And I didn't know what it was called until I found out that it was a harp. But yeah, basically a zone. Basically, pretty similar. Um, Good little forehand disc or overstable disc for certain approach shots. So harp is a good disc. I think I threw the West Side Destiny the most. That made the bag for a while because I could get it to turn. Good old understable 14 speed. Could get that to go pretty far. Threw the Queen a couple of times, but I had like a baseline sun cooked version of it and it did not fly well. That was a rough one. My West Side experience is pretty limited. Hey, Logan puts with the inner core trash panda. Wow, nice. Heck yeah. Inner core trash panda. Lat 64 has around 70 discs. Okay, that's actually a lot. Logan got me remembering all the different brands I have. Nice. Yep. Got to think about all those discs and be like, oh, I do have a dynamic disc. I have a truth. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Uh, yeah, it's kind of similar for me sometimes when I'm like thinking through trying to the discs that I have. Somebody will ask me if I have a disc, and I'm like, uh, yes. And then I look on my shelf. I'm like, did I give that away? Did I lose that? Oh, it's in my garage because I left it with my I might throw it this week stack. So yeah, it gets a little bit chaotic when you get up there in the discs that you've thrown or that you've collected throughout the years. Trash Panda is doing good. Glad for them. Hard to keep count. All right. Full disclosure, I had a really great burger 8 minutes before I started the stream. And take a quick little bathroom break. I'm going to be right back. Don't talk too much about soup while I'm gone. I will return in just a few moments. Okay, I have returned. And somehow there are more of you than when I left. And there are a ton of comments. Okay. What's up, guys? This is great. All right, all right. Humble Toad Farmer says, all right, bro, run a tournament with a blowfly or blunt or gum putt as your putter? No, thank you. I will make my putts. Thank you very much. No, blowfly is useful, absolutely, but not for me. Not for me. Logan says, I will say I don't like the mid-range or driver as much. Oh, for Discraft, mid-range doesn't have a lot of glide. Humble is challenging me. Yeah. So the thing with okay, if we're talking tournaments, to be serious, I will never do like some sort of tournament challenge because I take my rating very seriously. I take my tournaments very seriously. But I would do it for fun. I would film it. Like that would be fine. I would do something like that. But I don't mess with my tournaments. Tournaments are my best that I can do. I don't yeah, don't mess around with tournaments. Doc says, yeah, Logan, I think different runs will really cause different cause will be different because of the plastics. Interesting. Beardley says he has told me he doesn't run the blowfly because his technique flicks the disc upward as it's thrown, and the blowfly doesn't work for that. Yes, thank you. Yes, I have a push putt style. Beardley is exactly right. So as I push putt, I come up from below and I pop the disc up and out of the hand, and this does not work on a floppy putter. Does not work. Even the spore, this isn't a spore, even the parachute doesn't work. Like you go to pop it up and the disc bends too much. Doesn't pop out of the hand. So blowfly would be a challenge round. It would never be a tournament round. Typos are fun. Yes, they are. Floppiness, not clippings. Oh, clippings was a typo? That's hilarious. If you play woods with a lot of slopes, some rubber discs are a godsend. That's true, and I have been bit a few times with a potentially what I thought was a great layup. Oh no, it stood up and rolled away, and now I missed my comebacker putt. It's like, it sucks. So that's true, and there are several greens like that where that disc can really take off. So that is a good benefit of the blowfly and discs like it. Humble, yeah, I run them and love them. Had to change my grip to throw them right, but once I got it down, can't ask for a better putter. There you go. AI is good. Good these days for autocorrect. AI is too good these days for autocorrect to be this poor. That's good. They float on water. Yeah, that's nice too. Steady Ed knew what he was doing with those. I use mine as a putter and a dog disc at the lake. Anyone got a hold of a Scorch? Scorch is good. I have. Now you're like making me remember where I put it. Apparently not here. Where is my Scorch? I have a Scorch that I got from the Charlotte Amateur Championship. Maybe I kept it down here. I think it's down here. Yeah. Not only is it a Scorch, but everything's on fire. Charlotte Amateur Championship. There you go. Doc loves it because it's partially clear. But yes, I had a nice Scorch a while back. I had a ESP Scorch and Hades, I think, both ESP, or at least high quality plastic. But the Scorch I lost in a muddy pit in Florida, and the Hades I left in Charlotte before I moved here years ago. Sad, sad days. They were both birthday gifts. Bummer. Beardley loves the blowfly. It's my favorite. Sometimes use it in mid-range just to avoid skips. There you go. Amazing mid-range. Been experimenting with the Wonder and the Nimbus. Interesting. Blaze is here. He's back. Hey, it's funny that Blaze hopped on at the moment I left. What a bummer. Humble says understandable. Yes, that's funny. Anyone in chat do foundation used disc mystery box? Interesting. The used disc mystery box I have not done. Blaze says I threw left-handed 330 straight today. Won't be long before I no longer need the righty forehand. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of fun figuring out left-handed throwing. It's like the technique, it's like awkward because it's the wrong hand, but the technique is easier to implement because you figured it out already. You just have to mirror it. So in some sense, it's like you can pick it up kind of fast, but at the same time, you're like just grabbing the disc feels so alien with your left hand fingers. It's like this is so wrong. I can't get the fingers in the right place, and you just grab the disc with your right hand. It's perfect, and you could grab with your left, and you're like, that doesn't feel right. It's just very odd, very unusual. Got to get the new Doomsday disc, the Craft Single. Oh, the square one. I saw that. It looks amazing. It looks like it will go far. It's so funny. Yes, I do. I that crossed my mind. I was like, I need this for the channel, but then I forgot about it. So now you've reminded me. I'll have to actually try to. I'll have to try to do that. I'll try to remember that. I'll see if it costs less than $35. Sometimes discs are expensive. Doc says, Humble, have you tried the rubber putter from Lightning? Whisper says, have you used Innova Soft Pro Plastic? Unrelated, but I'm wondering how it is. Not to my knowledge. I don't know. I've thrown some like a Pro Katana. Are you talking a newer plastic or older? Oh, Blaze, thank you. Meet you halfway. Thank you, Blaze, donating for the Craft Single Doomsday disc. Heck yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it. What a legend. Blaze, always an amazing friend and supporter of the channel. Multiple videos that happened because of Blaze, including one that we filmed and isn't out yet. My apologies, Blaze. Our bag swap video. It's in the queue, but I'm currently getting the Project Grip disc reviews done at the moment, and have to work backwards to some of our older stuff that we have filmed. Yep. All right, Humble says, I got you. Backup putter is the Doomsday Depth Charge, previously Landmine. Have you thrown the Wonder Disc from Looper? Yeah, I haven't thrown the Landmine, but I have seen a few people throw it effectively. Very intriguing. Brad is wanting to try out Doomsday. Any suggestions? Jealous, that's a good one. Just order the Fuse Plastic, wondering if it's more overstable and domey like the River Opto Splash. Yeah, seriously, speaking of the River Opto Splash, what a domey disc. This thing is crazy. Look at that. That's insane. But awesome, awesome disc. Shout out Brent for that. Thank you for the gift. Gifted it to the channel. Ooh, Michael Minder says best disc for headwinds. Headwinds maybe actually arrive. The Project Grip Rive handles it like crazy. Oh, we got Doc with 10. Go for the other half. Wow, Doc and Blaze uniting to get me a Doomsday disc. Thank you guys. I will make sure that I grab that. That's so funny. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel in this way. Really appreciate it. I've got to look it up now. What is the actual disc? Oh, the oxymoron. That's right. I'll be snagging this later. Thanks, guys. I'm excited. I was actually interested to try it just from the video that I saw, and now I'm very interested in trying it. That's going to be great. Michael, great question about headwinds. You really want something overstable. So the Rive is a good disc, especially if you have something like the Project Grip Rive is going to absolutely fade. It's going to fade. So it's going to help you fight that wind. Maybe something like a Calvin Destroyer, a Hurricane is great for the wind, or a Hypercane is actually really good for the wind. DGA. Yeah, something you're really just going to want to pull out your overstable stuff and hope that it handles the wind. But just depends on what you just don't want something to turn over and never come back. I've even had that happen with an Enigma. It's like, for me, it's an overstable disc, but a little bit of wind, oh, there's a lot of wind. A lot of wind, and that thing goes, turns over and never comes back. Goodbye into the Florida alligator land. Goodbye forever. If you never learned with your right, learning lefty is not so fun. That's true. Humble actually started with Doomsday. Get a heavier weight Pestilence if you want a better flight. Go to mid-range is the Blackout and just order the chemtrail. There you go. Jay Norris says, what state are you in? I am in North Carolina, near the Charlotte area. So good old NC. Get the clay and foothills, kind of slopes and rocky greens. So I miss the Florida putting green. I really do. Running putts from anywhere and everywhere and having it just plop right next to the basket. More rollaways in Charlotte, but it's a great state, great disc golf, and I'm happy to be here. Blaze says you have to do 9 holes at Scrapyard with it. Okay, 9 holes at Scrapyard with it. Got it. John Stewart is here. Nice. Love your show. John Stewart says I have Soft Pro Firefly and the Pig. Interesting. You know, I may have thrown a Soft Pro Pig. I'm trying to recall now. I am not sure. I don't have one. Do I have? Is this Innova or what is this? No, it's not. It's Gateway. That's Gateway. Okay. Yep. Newer from the last 2-ish years. It's just straight up called Soft Pro. Okay. So I have not really then thrown Soft Pro because I haven't thrown new Innova in the last couple of years. So something that I just don't have any experience with. Humble says, oh, how do you like the Rive? So my experience so far, I'll give you a brief glimpse of it because I am doing the Project Grip disc reviews, starting with the Rive. It actually doesn't fight your hand. Like it doesn't dive left out of your hand, fight the flight too quickly. But as soon as it starts to slow down, oh boy, does it fade. So I like that a lot. I think it's going to get a ton of ground play. I think it's going to be one of the best discs for a late flight fade to get really far left. But it's slowly going to be fighting you the whole way. So if you put it on Annie, it's going to be fading by the end of it. If you put it on a hyzer, it's left the whole time. It's great for a glidey spike hyzer though. I put a Rive up pretty high and it just swung through the air. So I think they're good. They're good discs. I don't necessarily know if it's going to make the bag, but you'll have to watch my disc review of the Project Grip Rive to find out. Just bought it. Oh, nice. Is it softer than JK or how close is it JK Pro? Good question. Interesting. Blaze says, Humble, the Rive is great. Actually shipping one to Brad, yes. And I will be able to compare. Blaze has just helped me out with all sorts of things. I'll be able to compare the Rive from him with the Project Grip Rive, which will be nice. Because as much as I love getting two to get multiple throws and easier to film, compare them with each other, I don't have another Rive that I throw or have thrown I'm familiar with. So getting one will be nice. Best disc for headwind, Innova Dragon. If you wanted to do spins in the air, go ahead, throw an Innova Dragon. Brent calling him out. Don't lie to him. Dragons are best in any wind. John Kelly says Raptor and MVP Dimension. Good heavy wind. Yes. Firebird, Captain's Raptor, good headwind discs as well. Dimension depends on the plastic. Mine was flippy. I threw turnovers with my Dimension. Fission plastic. Blaze says Humble, get a Boss. Oh, Boss is a good shout out. Destroyer, Warbird, Firebird, Thunderbird, Tilt, DD3, Bayonet, Walker, Gator, Cayman, MD3, Envy, Balance. I can go on. Off Balance. Yes, Off Balance. Thank you. Yes, let's get the Off Balance if you want to fight the wind. All right, I need to catch up. It has a good scene there in the Sierras of California. Great disc golf scene here. Yes, absolutely. Charlotte is massive for disc golf, but of course, California is classic disc golf. Can't miss it. Haven't thrown no champion dragon. So sad. No, you haven't sent me one yet. Which, by the way, Doc, I have the shoes. I have part of the shoe reviews, but the champion or the Project Grip stuff jumps up to the top of the list. So video will happen. Team Brent is back, driving 5 hours back home, listening to the GOAT. Listening to me. That's nice. Humble Toad, exactly what you need. That's good. Twin Swords shell was a meat hook for me. Is it closer to a Zeus? I haven't thrown the Twin Swords shell. The Zeus is a good amount of meat hook, but it can go pretty far. It can go kind of straight, so it's not too like wildly overstable. But you know, it's destroyer-ish. Luke says, how many discs do you have in total? I have about 250 right now, probably a few more. I have a stack in the garage, so haven't really kind of accounted for that in a little while. And I have discs off screen, 250. Yeah. If you're extraordinarily curious, I have an hour-long video where I talk about all the discs in my collection, so you can check that out. Doc says, Brent, congrats on the tournament. John Stewart says, yes, much softer than any other Innova plastic, and pig is super floppy. Interesting. It sounds like something that I would be interested to try, and it wouldn't end up bagging. Shows there similar to the sword and the Zeus. Interesting. Humble threw a dragon once and it corkscrewed into the ground. Quickly gave it to my younger brother. Yup, that's exactly right. I have an Innova dragon. Nope, that's not it. It's buried in my... Sorry, Doc. It's buried in my garbage disc pile over here. Somewhere off screen. Oh, I found it. With the... If I meet a dog that I don't even like that much, I might give it to him. Hurt Doc's feelings. Strong arm to throw a dragon. Destroyers hurt. I can throw nice, but I'm gassed after 3 holes. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Doc says, it might be a while till I send anything else. Sorry. #life. I understand. Jay, do you think most average players have too many overstable discs in their bag? I think it creates bad habits. That's a really great question for a couple of different reasons. So the answer is probably most players, yes, but it depends on how they throw, whether or not it creates bad habits. If it teaches people to throw more Anheuser shots, it's not necessarily a bad habit. But if people think faster, more overstable discs go further, then yeah, it's not helping them get better at disc golf. They need to disc down, they need to throw flippy, they need to throw slow, and they need to get better at the fundamentals. If it's someone who says, this disc helps me because when I throw it, it goes left really fast, no problem. That was me. I very much acknowledged that I shouldn't be throwing 13 and 14 speed discs. However, the strike went straight and the Enigma went left, and that's something that I needed. So even though my max distance wasn't that crazy good, I wasn't getting the most out of those discs, the discs gave me a shot shape that I wanted, gave me a flight that I wanted. So it's a complicated question, but I would say a lot of the time people are thinking that a faster disc is better, and it's not. They're thinking that an overstable disc is better, and it's not. So generally speaking, yeah, disc down, throw flippy. Those are better. They're going to make better habits for you. You're going to have a better time finding your throw that works for a disc, and then building up from there to throw faster, more overstable discs and get the most out of them. So fantastic question, observation. And yeah, it definitely is a negative for some people. For sure. Okay. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's why my disc golf bag is a nice app. That's why my disc golf bag is a nice app. Lets you look at the discs in your bag, look for holes. Yes, that's true. That's true. It is a good indicator. Although it also does it have an adjustment. For instance, I have a Dynasty, flies nothing like a new Dynasty. So it has a very specific flight path now versus the original disc. So does it let you adjust that? Because I have seen, I think, some bag checkers where you can like click and drag and kind of adjust that flight path. That's something that is probably needed for people who've thrown their discs for a while and kind of or maybe someone who throws a lot of hyzer and just doesn't get the same shot shape as everyone else. Yeah, that could be. Brent says, thank you, Doc. There you go. Brent acknowledging his 1,030 rated round at Renaissance. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Am I blurry? Am I a tiny bit blurry, guys? Don't worry, I'll fix it. Oh, I don't want that. Wow, that looks really stupid. All right, I hope that helps. It doesn't look any better. All right, whatever. Doc says, anything for you, Brent? Have you tried the shoe? Brent hasn't received the shoe yet because the person who was giving it away put it on the stack along with Brent's Shrike and Brave that Brent's supposed to get and has not given them to Brent. They're sitting in the garage. To be fair, Brent has not reminded me. I blame Brent. Don't forget the missed 8-foot putt. Yeah. Brad hasn't delivered yet. Yeah. And I helped Brent move. I think I can hold on to his disc for a few extra weeks. It's not going to be a big deal. Oh, but I do need to go to another round for you, Brent. Don't let me forget that. What is the fastest disc you bag? Great question. I think I dropped the Shrike, so I think 12 speed right now is my fastest. Specifically, the Wild Honey flies the fastest and furthest for me, 12.5 -2.2, and it just has such a good flight. I can just crank on that, and it flies further than everything else in the bag. I bagged a Destiny for a while, which is a 14 speed, not in the bag right now. If I put the Project Grip Arrive in the bag, that would be my new fastest because it'd be 13 speed. But yeah, Enigma DD2, 12 speed, 12 speed. Wild Honey, 12 speed. Hurricane, 12 speed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So yeah, 12 speed right now. Humble started with a 13 speed distance driver, threw it hard enough to almost rip my rotator cuff off. Learned proper form right after due to injuries, so I guess that is a good point. If you're thrown too overstable, you can overdo it and hurt yourself. Yes, that is a problem. That is a big problem. Glad you learned good form. I had to do similar things because I would throw and my arm would kind of tingle a little bit, or my shoulder would hurt the next day, and I had to improve. Brent says, Brad, want to bring them to me tomorrow? Tomorrow? I don't think I'm seeing you tomorrow, am I? Am I supposed to see you tomorrow? Do I have something planned that I totally forgot about? I don't think so. Are you just asking me to drop them off? That's too much effort. Jay was introduced to the game when I moved to Santa Cruz in 1996, year after I was born. De La had a wicked learning curve, but it was love at first chains. I love that story. Seeing the game grow has been a pleasure. Worlds was amazing. Yes, Worlds was amazing. Wild Honey is a dang cheat code. Yeah, it is. Added 40 feet to my max distance on my first throw with it. Blew my mind. Great disc. Yeah, De La is great. Obviously, I said I haven't been over to California, I haven't played it, but it's always fun watching it. And man, with some scrappy lines that you have to be able to throw out there, kind of crazy. But yeah, that'd be a hard first course / learning course, De La. That would be crazy. But that's really cool, man. That's really cool. Brent, might go tomorrow. I think I might call off work. I'm not getting home till 1 a.m. Please don't get home at 1 a.m. and work at 6 a.m. Please don't do that. Yeah, if you're playing tomorrow, I'm planning to play Cigar Creek because I need to prep for a match play. So if you want to show up and keep me safe, that would be great. I've seen 5'8" guys throw at 500 feet. Yes, that would be Emerson Keith. Luke Taylor is not that tall either. He rips. He throws a buzz 500 feet. He's unbelievable. I've watched him play in tournaments. I played in the same tournament with him on the card behind him. He's pretty unreal. Pretty unreal. Tomorrow in the 80s looks amazing. Yeah, kind of cold, but honestly, it's fine. It's whatever. John Kelly, have to try the Wild Honey. Biggest bomber right now is the Axiom Excite and Halo Shrike. I have the Excite. I have it. I have the Excite somewhere. Where's the Excite? Right here. Gift from my buddy Chris. Thank you, Chris. Still has his number on it. So I lose it, it gets his way back to him. I have a skip ace with the Excite, but it was 210 feet. Excite is pretty good. It definitely gets out there. But for whatever reason, plastic type feel in the hand, it doesn't quite feel right. But the Wild Honey feels so good coming out of the hand. For whatever reason. Yeah. Did you watch Worlds? So I watched some of Worlds, but for 4 Worlds for Finland, I followed scores today. So I don't want to give the spoilers, but I did follow and see what happened. But I'm going to watch more like recaps and probably the final round for sure in detail. But I watched kind of hit and miss of the first 3 rounds. I will say, this is no spoilers at all. I was very happy for Sullivan Tipton playing well and proud of him. He's great. He's such a friendly person. Such a friendly person. Brent, all 3 dogs with you. Oh, gosh. Front seats, Brad in the back. Doc says cold. Yeah, it's cold. It's not even close to 90. It's terrible. Brent says, I'll play Cigar. Can you do early-ish? Maybe. Why are you wanting to play early-ish? It's not going to be hot tomorrow. It's going to be cold. Want to be home when Emma gets back? Okay. So are you saying like 1 or are you saying like 11? Big difference. Going far is all rotation, timing, and spin, not size of person. Well, yes and no. It's rotation, it's timing, it's spin, and if you're lengthier, it also helps. Yes. My brother is 6'3", and I would say has worse form than me, but throws a little bit further because he's 6'3". It's just part of it. Gannon, as Humble says, Gannon. Yep. Gannon can generate more than Emerson Keith can generate, but you can still be up there no matter your size. You're just going to have to be a little bit better. You're going to have to be a little bit smoother. You're going to have to be a little more controlled. So absolutely, the main thing is timing, mechanics, absolutely. But man, if you can reach back another 12 inches, that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. Doc fell into some semi-frozen water halfway through a round and finished it. Now that was cold. 80 is not cold. And you get that sun covered up by the clouds and you start shivering a little bit. I was cold today out there. Any thoughts on the drug testing for overseas PDJ tournaments? Ain't gonna lie, my whole group would fail. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, with the professional level is you do have different expectations for it. And it's fair. I think it's fair. It's a world stage. You can't expect other countries to be as loose as you've enjoyed yourself, and if they want to have standards for the level of quality of their event, we should be able to match them. Yeah, so I'm fine with it. And very different thing to a professional disc golfer on the pro tour versus a professional league disc golfer at your local club. Like there's a different level of expectation. There's a different level of professionalism. You're not being filmed. You're not engaging with fans. You're not signing discs. Big difference. So I think they have every right at that level, at that stage, to say, here are the expectations and the rules, and you've got to match them. So I'm fine with it. I'm for it, I would say, even. I don't know if I would say it is an essential thing for the United States to implement on every tour stop or not. I'm not sure because I don't know enough details about it. But I would say, yeah, I don't see how it's an issue. I don't see how it's a problem for the level of competition. Brent says, thinking 9:30 due to need of sleep, but not sure. Oh, dude, I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm planning to play around with someone, and I don't think he's ever been awake before 9:30 a.m. So I'm not sure if I can combine that. I don't really want to play twice. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't texted me back, and maybe he can't play tomorrow. Courses usually open around 7, would suggest then. I'm not playing at 7. Not playing at 7. Not happening. Doc says, humble, the first player tested and fails will sell a fortune with their discs. Interesting. Jay, got a bolt. Cool talking live. Never done it. Dig your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for hopping on. Appreciate your questions and your comments, Jay, and your perspective from California. So thank you. Have a good one, man. Doc says, Brent, if you have room, can you put like a throw in your bag in case Brad says it's cold? Yes, please. Humble says, high level athlete versus casual turning player makes sense. Yeah. It's there will never be a C tier. Now you can't drink during C tiers, like you can't have alcohol, but that's a different thing from during the activity, during the competitive round versus in your life, like during that week or like whatever, depending on what they're testing for. So yeah, local C tiers are never going to be like, this isn't something you can do in your life. They're going to be, this is something you can't do while you're competing, which is reasonable. For that level, it brings in different level of expectation. You're on a world stage. Reputations matter. Actions matter. So yeah, it can bleed over. It can be something to where if you're engaging in your behavior over the weekend before you compete, that it can impact how you compete and how you engage with fans. So it's a big difference. Yeah, but great question. Yeah. Hey, Ellis, what's up? Finally played this weekend for like 5 hours straight. The man got outside. Heck yeah. Um, heck yeah. That's awesome. Congrats. Um, glad you got out. Hopefully you're not exhausted for the next week. Let's see. Doc says, hey Ellis, I did a few holes. Got so hot I had to take a 3-hour nap today or yesterday. You can't have been overheated today or yesterday. It's been cold out. At least like 3 days ago it was hot. Ellis, use my wigs from Temu and it's actually not bad. That's amazing. Brent says, you want to play early. I don't want to play early. No one wants to play early. Doc says, though, if I have had people ask if I was from up north, because it was like 30s, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. See, I've done that before, but 30s, it can't be windy, and either it has to be like a really fresh snow, no wind. 30s is okay. It's actually kind of just the air is so dead that you don't get too cold. Or sunny, like really sunny out and not windy. If it's windy at all and it's 30 degrees, your life sucks. Don't go outside at that point. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. John Kelly says, can you show me which wild honey so I can get the same one? I'll order it right now. It is down in the garage in my bag, so I don't have it on me, unfortunately. I don't think I have any other Clash discs to compare either. Dang. Yeah, it's all the way down in the garage. I can give... man. I know it's going to be in some of my videos. I'm just trying to remember video I held up the wild honey in so that you could like watch it and see. If you join the Discord, I can throw a picture up on it after the stream. Yeah, maybe at the end of the stream I'll run down and grab it. Yeah, you can watch the end of the stream. I know I'm giving terrible solutions. I just don't want to run all the way downstairs and get it. I'm so lazy. It's green and blue. Green and blue. I don't know the differences between the wild honey plastics. Steady? Don't think it's that one. It is kind of like multicolored, so it's not a single color tone. Do some very quick research. It doesn't look like that. So it's not the steady plastic. It is the ring, steady ring, maybe. Yeah, I would say it is the steady ring. That is what I'm seeing. I don't think it's planty. Yeah, it's not planty. Yeah, it's the steady ring plastic. Yep. There you go. Good question. It is the steady ring. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Back in chat. Not today. It was Thursday. Okay, at least Thursday was hot. So at least that's valid. Thursday was hot out. Jacob Hoppus, have you played in Tulsa, Oklahoma? I've not been all the way out to Oklahoma to play disc golf. Charlotte, North Carolina, Florida, Michigan, Georgia, Illinois, and Boston, Massachusetts. That's pretty much my disc golf experience. South Carolina? Question mark. I plan to play in Tennessee soon. That's pretty much my range of disc golf experience for the most part. Soon, Missouri. I will be at Worlds, so I will be playing in Missouri soon. That'll be awesome. Humble says, Alex Clark, my beloved, only course I can play in North Texas that won't give me heat stroke. I'm guessing lots of shade. Yeah, Texas is a lot. Texas is a lot. Shaded courses make a big difference. Absolutely. Doc says, do hate when the wooden bridges on the course freeze. Hard to notice till you're on it. Yeah, I may have slipped on a wooden bridge in a tournament recently, and I may have slipped on a wooden step yesterday in a tournament. 2 for 2 on the soggy wooden structures. Thankfully, I didn't hit it. I didn't fall and hit the ground. I caught myself. My left arm was just a little sore yesterday, but it's fine. Didn't hurt my right hand, not my throwing hand. Anders says, what new putter should I get? Well, Brent just started putting with the Pixel, and the man hit 1,030 rated round yesterday. So apparently the Pixel works pretty well, except for 8-foot putts. You want to watch those. Those apparently hit the band. Doc says, Anders a pilot or a lemon? I mean, I put the Wardens, so shout out Wardens. P2s are great. It just depends on what you're looking for. Pures are great. It's just hard to say. Get a blowfly. Get a buzz for your. Should I get a buzz for my mid range? Buzz is fine. Depends on how far you throw. If you want just a dead straight, you might actually want the Buzz SS. Unless you throw your mid ranges 300 plus, then the Buzz is going to be what you want probably. I throw the Echo. I love throwing the Echo. It is a slightly understable mid range without the fade, so I can get dead straight shots out of it, and it just flies so well. Such a good gap hitter. Yeah, just depends on what you want. Just depends on what you want. I think the Buzz is like slightly stable versus the Echo, which the Echo will be dead straight for me. The Buzz Hyzer's on me. Buzz SS is like dead straight, maybe a tiny bit of turn to it. If you want a nice turnover shot, Soul. Soul is the way to go. But yeah, it just depends on how far you're throwing far, then yeah, Buzz. Buzz says, SA, there's Doc coming in saying the same thing. Get a mid-range? We are all wondering. Brandon says, are you coming to Maple this season? If you're talking about Maple Hill, probably not. So I already traveled to Michigan for U.S. Amateurs. I'm traveling to Missouri for Amateur Worlds, and I'm planning a trip to Florida for the Chainhawk Open, going back. Try to continue my trend of moving up a division every year and winning every other year. So I'm hoping for 4th place, which would be crazy in MPO. That'd be good money. That'd be nice. Anyway, so those 3 travels, those trips. Oh, and the Eagles Wings was this year too. Yikes. So I'm trying not to do too much traveling. I would love to play Maple Hill again, but it might just have to wait till I'm able to afford more traveling. Yeah. It was covered in trees, a little less, but still cool. Oh, that's the course in Texas. Okay. It's an Australian disc from Looper called the Wonder Disc. Brent could hit 1,000 rated with a Franklin set. No, Brent has done a putter only round, lost to me. Sorry, Brent. I think if Brent and I did a bag switch, he would lose to me. I putted with the Pixel, so I could do it. Brent definitely is dialed with some of his discs. He is absolutely dialed with them. couple of his Prodigy mid-ranges and his Destroyers, his TLs. Oh, man. A couple of Shrikes for him, although we didn't need those at Renaissance. Man knows his discs. I've just got to keep him in good physical shape and mentally capable for USDGC doubles. No tree kicking. Phenomenal mid-range, hard to get a hold of. Interesting. Who's tried a Jackalope? I've seen it, but I have not thrown it. What about a Champion Cup, the octopus one? I'm not sure what disc that is. Have you tried any Daredevil discs? I haven't. Brent says bag switch tomorrow. Bag switch tomorrow. I don't know if I want to film because I have two. I want to do it, but I don't think that I want to film. Number one, at a course I've never played. And number two, I don't know if I want to do a bag switch when I'm prepping for match play on Tuesday. No, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do a bag switch until after US Amateurs. Then I'm fine with it. Then I am fine with it. Not saying film, yeah, but I'm prepping for match play and I'm prepping for US Ams, so or Amateur Worlds, sorry. So no. And if we do a match back switch, I would want to film it. Daredevil. I've not thrown any of their discs, but they all look great. The albatross. I love how the animals are staring straight at you. They're like looking in your soul, seeing if they find any flaws. The Wolverine, the Yeti, which looks like a fat-headed goat. Ooh, Timberwolf looks really cool. I'm gonna have to buy one of the Timberwolves for a buddy of mine. I'm gonna keep that in mind. I have not tried any Daredevil discs though. They look cool. Daredevil has a North Carolina connection. Interesting. Put some ice in your bag to make them colder. I'll take my own cooler. I don't have any problems. I like to take a cooler with water and 2 granola bars so that they don't melt in the sun. And then on my drive home, I have fresh cold water and nice unmelted snacks. It's really nice. Who needs prep? Whatever, Brent. So rude. Isn't there an American distributor in Raleigh, the co-owner? Interesting. Like the Swift Fox. Fascinating. Oh, I left my water off screen. Gotta go get that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. They have the walrus. That's rubber. Interesting. A little extra blubber there. Feels like it's been more than 2 hours. Marcus has a lot of Daredevil discs. Nice, nice. Which one is your favorite, Marcus? Brent says, I mean, I had 0 prep for Rennie and shot 1030 rated. Blah, blah, blah. You also shot a 950 rated round last week, so I don't want to hear it. Doc says, anyone know anything about the Ace Line Duraflex? Ew. Sounds terrible. I have an Ace Line. No. DMS. That is an Ace Line. Crappy little thing. I probably don't even. Ace Line Duraflex D model US. Disgusting. Oh, it's terrible. I will tell you that it beats in really, 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 really fast. This went from my most overstable disc to the Invictus, second most overstable disc, to the flippiest disc in 3 months. This plastic is terrible. But for a little while, it'll fly nice for you. Doc, you might actually like it. I also shot a 1020 rated round last week. Yeah, playing with a bunch of chumps on a Bailey, easiest course in the planet. Came in your foundation used box. Nice. Yeah, it's the world's. It is somehow worse than DX plastic. I think because you expect DX plastic to beat in fast, and you're like, oh yeah, this is just what it does, and that stuff's like, what? It's garbage. Marcus in Colorado. Favorite is the Ogopogo. The Ogopogo. I didn't even see the Ogopogo. That's so great. What wonky discs. That's great. Got the P model. Okay. Yeah. So I think what was is the P model putter instead of distance driver? Just hates when I do better. No, I was very happy for you. I was very happy for you to succeed yesterday, Brent. Uh, I just should have been 10 down. That's just the problem. Not true. I wanted to be 7 down. I wanted a 1,000 rated round. Sad, sad. Actually, it would have been 10-10 rated. Wouldn't have even been that hard. Just has to not suck. Hear about the Canada tariffs, so Daredevil might be a bit rough to find right now. Interesting. Robert says, what state are you in? I am in North Carolina. So I'm near the Charlotte area, perfect for disc golf. And yeah, liking it. I do miss Florida. I miss the Florida heat. Sometimes North Carolina gets a little bit cold during the day. So definitely something that, it's a mild downside, but otherwise it's mostly temperate and has a good disc golf opportunity. Brent says, didn't feel like I played 1,030 rated round. Yeah, it was just so easy for you. You're just so much better than the rest of us that you're just going out there throwing a few discs around. Oh, I shot 1,030 rated round. Wow, I missed an 8-foot putt. Oh, I'm so good. Marcus says it's like a rubbery firebird. The Ogopogo is like a rubbery firebird. Ugh. I'm so interested in that now. I want to I want to throw it. That's awesome. Designed, the P model says designed in the USA, not made, just designed. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Uh, sad that you won't be at Nevin. Yeah. Missing the next Chain Reactions tournament to travel to Amateur Worlds. Sorry, Nolan. Wish I could be there. Regret that Zach Bivens will beat me in the point series because all he has to do is show up. That's all he has to do. So tragic. Doc says you really are better than the rest. Brent, Brad is right about that. Why do you think that I picked Brent as my doubles partner? Like I could have chosen anybody, and I was like, I guess I'll put up with this guy. Yeah, it's because he has a good forehand, and I think I can maintain his mental stability over the course of 3 rounds and play a good doubles team. That has yet to be seen, but we will do our best. I will say, if you say who among us has the most 1,030 rated rounds, we would say Brent. If we said who among us kicked a tree really hard and injured their foot and couldn't walk for a few days, we would also say Brent. So, which one of us is more consistent and stable? Interesting. Humble says tragic. Doc says, can we do a poll? How many, what? How many under 18 will beat Brad in the AMs? Are you saying how age of 18 will beat me in Amateur Worlds? And you say 12? I don't think there's going to be that many junior players at Amateur Worlds. I think that 3. I think 3 junior players at Am Worlds will beat me. I would say. Under 18 years old. Okay. Yeah. I would say 3. I would say 3 junior players will beat me at Am Worlds. And one of them will probably be Zeb. If he goes, which I assume he'll go. I don't know if Holt is going. Let's see. Who else do I know is going to be there? I'm not even aware. That's the thing with Am Worlds is a lot of the junior players are so focused on junior worlds that they are not concerned with Am Worlds yet. So some of the best junior players might not even be there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Graham, that is not a good idea. Robert says, if you ever come to New Jersey, come to Neptune and play the Creamery. I have not been to New Jersey, but New Jersey not created, but out of New Jersey came Ellie Mitling. So apparently you guys know what you're doing with disc golf somehow. So I should come visit. I should play that course. That sounds fun. That's great. Winner gets to be Brent's new best friend. I don't think that that's a prize. I think being Brent's new best friend is a responsibility. You gotta keep him safe. You gotta keep him sane. You gotta help him move. You gotta put up with his insanity. Like it's a rough job. The prize, Doc. If you want that prize, I would gladly hand that responsibility over to you. See if you can handle it. Zeb Holt and plenty more. Wow, says Brent. Yeah, I don't know who's going to be there. So if a ton of them show up en masse, then great. But yeah. Should 60 Minutes do an interview with Owen Scoggins? I would watch it. I would watch it. I don't know if that's a specific reference or if that's just a general question. If you're serious about that, I would say that would be great. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if you're making a joke at the same time. I'm not sure. But yeah, that'd be cool to see. I mean, any mainstream interview or coverage of disc golf is just going to be a good thing, unless they're like really mocking it. But I don't think they would, because Owen is just like one of the purest of heart among the disc golfers. She's really great, super friendly. Uh, she signed one of my wardens. I had her sign base plastic and then putted with it, so kind of wore off kind of quickly, but still, she's great. Robert, if you're in New Jersey, you got to watch Toxic Avenger the musical, not kid friendly. What the heck? Weird. Have you been to Eagles Crossing? I got a championship there soon. I have not been to Eagles Crossing. That one is Mississippi. No. Oh, it is Missouri. I have not played Eagles Crossing. I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Let me see. If I could spell Amateur Worlds. It is Missouri. Yeah, I'm not stupid. Okay, what courses are we playing? I gotta look this up. Because I don't think we're playing Eagles Crossing. I think we're playing Harmony Bends. And John something or other. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, Harmony Bends, Joseph C. Miller, Albert Oakland Park. Oh, and Binder Lake Park, 4 different courses? Why did I think there were 3 courses? I don't know. Let's see. Monday, Tuesday. Oh, because there are 3 courses. Oh, they do cycle through 4 courses. Ooh. That's strange. Anyway, I need to take a better look at the Amateur Worlds schedule and make sure that I know what I'm doing. That'd probably be a good thing. Stu says it's a serious question. She'd be a great ambassador for the sport. It's not a joke. Okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a reference because I saw the results, but I didn't watch the FPO coverage. I agree. I think that she is fantastic. I think she has a great on-camera personality, and what she lacks in the clearest of communication more than makes up for in heart and in attitude. So I think that she is one of the best ambassadors for the sport, and I would love to see it. It'd be really, really cool. So absolutely, yes, I agree. Doc says Toxic Avenger was terrible B movie from the 80s, had a cult following, popular cartoon, and now a remake with Peter Dinklage as the main character. Okay, cool. Weird. Humble says if you tried anything from Bernoulli, they make wood composite biodegradable discs. I like the feel of them. Wow. I feel like I would love for them to make me some cool mini markers, but wood composite biodegradable discs. I that can't be PDJ legal, but that sounds very cool. That sounds very interesting. No, I have not. I have not. I have not. I don't. Let me put it this way. Unlike Doc, I don't live on Whatnot, picking up all the weirdest discs I've ever seen in my life. So there's a bunch of discs I haven't tried, a bunch of companies I haven't thrown their discs, like Daredevil, Doomsday, and Bernoulli. But that's really cool. That's really awesome. Wood composite biodegradable discs. Wild. Doc Kunshu used sawdust in a line of discs. So strange. So odd what disc golf has decided to do. It's cool. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool. Oh, I'm starting to get a little bit tired. I'm gonna have to end at 9. I might have to do another 15 minutes. Fair got their driver off Amazon for $9. It's so weird and PDJ approved. Really? That is really cool. I'm impressed that they got a PDJ approved. That's really, really cool. Excuse me. That is an accomplishment. I mean, there are over like 1,400 approved PDJ discs, but still, like getting it approved, like Doomsday hasn't gotten all of their stuff approved. I think the WMD is unapproved. It goes really far. Brand new company. Oh, also explains why I haven't really heard of them. Yeah, interesting. That Bernoulli. I'll have to keep my eye on Bernoulli. Very cool. Like 4 hours. Rip. Sorry, Brent. I can't run the stream for another 4 hours. Dang, kid, are you coming back from Virginia? I mean, don't get too personal, but pretty sure that Brent out of state just decided to just rip it across the country. Stu says, how does a player obtain a tour card from the Disc Golf Pro Tour? Are there different types? Yes, that's a great question. Doc might be the best answer for this because he listens to Foundation so much. But I believe there are full tour cards and partial tour cards. Full tour cards are basically awarded to the top. I'm gonna get the number wrong, but say 50 on tour, like get their tour card for the next year. But some tour cards you have to earn them. You have to win or place high enough in a certain qualifying tournament at a Q series at a something like that. Then you can earn your tour card for that season or for the following season. But yes, there are different. I believe there are two different types of tour card, and it is not automatic. You have to be good enough or compete well enough to earn yourself a tour card. So, for instance, Trinity Bryant, who I knew from Florida, she won I don't know if it was a Q series or not, but she won a tournament and earned her tour card for this year. And because of that, she's been out on tour. I think she played like, I think she said 18 points above her rating at Worlds or 16 points above her rating at Worlds or something like that. So, like, she's in Finland. She's out there competing and she's like 19. So, yeah, it's quite a world where yeah, you just have to get out there and be good enough and you can earn that tour card. But MPO, it's so difficult to get a tour card. You have to be the best or almost the best. Humboldt took the wood composite drivers to Florida last week, did okay, found a fresh new no-name Zeus on the course, and finished the round. Yep, that's great. A real disc. Does age matter at all for tour cards? I don't think so. I think tour cards are essentially, if you're in the top whatever of the tour, you get your tour card. If you compete well enough, you get your tour card. So I think it is an earn it basis, not a deserve it basis. It's kind of a weird way to put it, but yeah, I think that's correct. The Euro is a different tour card. They love to confuse people. Didn't know. Bender says, who's the best tomahawk thrower? Tomahawk specifically? I would assume Jake Wolf, because he throws almost exclusively overhand, so I would assume he would be like just the best. I want to say Kevin Jones and Eagle McMahon probably have great tomahawks. Kevin has like the weirdest, like he'll just rip a good grenade. That's what he has. He's a really good like grenade thrower. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. Brody probably has a decent tomahawk. I'm sure that he got good at every type of throw as a trick shot guy. I don't know. Side note, as a quick reminder, if you didn't watch the Disrespect doubles collaboration that I did with Cam with his channel, I have a video that's the back nine of our best shot doubles. Make sure that you leave a comment on that video to have a chance to win this redemption. So giveaway ends Saturday. Entry period ends on Saturday, August 9th at 11:59 p.m. And then next live stream, I'll be giving away the redemption. So get yourself entered into that giveaway. Find that back nine. I called it Disrespectful Double. So find that and make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment for a chance to win. I think my voice is running out tonight. Is not lasting. Gosh. Yep, I'm definitely reaching the end of my speaking for the day. It's starting to run out. If your comment includes soup, do you get 2 entries? You can try it and find out. Yeah, highly recommend it. Also, I am planning to make soup soon. It's about time. Been over a month since I've made soup. It's just that I know the prep time is such a mess, and the result is so worth it though. So it's time. It's time to get some nice soup. Humble says, been a good stream, man. I'm going to start tuning in regularly. Awesome. Thank you for being here. As always, it's a pleasure to enjoy the interaction. And yeah, every week, now that I missed a week last week, I'm saying every week, but every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. EST until roughly 9:30 p.m., depending on how my voice feels, what energy level I have, etc. If my voice is cracking. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and glad you're here. Glad everybody's been hanging out. Doc is always good for a lot of chats as well, so keep things interesting. It's in the 80s and super cold. Yeah. I wanted to get some soup to make sure that I have something to warm myself from the inside up, because the temperature is not going to be enough. If it's not sunny, if it's too cloudy and a little bit breezy, like I'm going to be like, why didn't I wear long sleeves today? Only 80 degrees is just kind of disappointing, you know? Anyway, you're getting me down, Doc. I'm trying to be upbeat and positive here, enjoying life. And actually, I'm going to look up temperatures for the week, make sure I don't need a sweater. Oh gosh, I just see rain every day. Okay. It's not even going to be 80 degrees tomorrow. 79? Oh my gosh. 74, 75. Okay. Thursday, 81. Friday, 79. Saturday, 83. Sunday. At least we're warming back up by the end of the week. It looks like a dreary week. To be perfectly honest, it looks like a good week to edit a bunch of videos and not go outside. Charlotte is warmer, you'll be in the 80s. I don't know about that. A sweater. What is, oh gosh. Leslie says, what's McRady's favorite soup? I would imagine cheeseburger soup. I think it's probably his top choice. I would have no idea, of course, as someone who is so far removed from him. But I'm making the assumption I think cheeseburger soup is probably the best choice. It just tastes so good. You have the burger, you have the potatoes, the cheese, of course, in the name, carrots, celery. What else? Probably I'm forgetting my own soup recipe. It's really, really delicious. And if you make enough of it, you can have it every day for a week and you never get tired of it because it just tastes so good. And it rewarms so well. It's like magic. It's the best. So I would say that's probably his favorite. I have no idea why I would say that. Yeah. Great question. Don't feel bad my chihuahua is the same way. Oh gosh. A sweater. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta stay warm. Wish it was 80s here. Charlotte is warmer. No, I just checked the weather. It looks like it's 70s all week. Sadness. Uh, Brad and me, yin and yang. It's yin and yang. That's okay. I forgive you. But yes, we seem to somehow be opposites. Yes. I make sense, and you're Doc. Brent says this drive has already been rough. Oh my gosh, Brent, please. Taking 3 dogs across the country. I hope you're driving safe and awake. Why are you trying to get back at 1 a.m. anyway? Brent, hope you destroy him tomorrow. Rude, but thank you, Doc, for rooting for Brent. Appreciate that. I think if Brent gets back at 1 a.m., it's like the time to beat him. It's like the time to rise up and take Brent down. Uh, well, let's see. I beat Brent. No, we tied at Bailey. So last time we played together, we tied. Oh yeah, that's a lot of dogs to stay at the in-laws. Okay, that's fair. Just be safe. Bed is cruel there. Dad is from Minnesota and we ice fish there every year in like -40, and then we do endurance training in Texas every summer. Why he chose to live here, I'll never know. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, that's quite a swing. Like, that's impressive. It's definitely like not the same level for me, but I grew up in and went to college in Grand Rapids. And I remember thinking to myself when I was walking back to my dorm from class, negative whatever, and I'm just like freezing cold at 9:15 p.m. And I'm like, I am not going to live here for the rest of my life. This is miserable. Why do I exist like this? And I moved to Florida and I went outside and I went, it's so warm here. It's like being hugged by the air. And I never wanted to leave. Charlotte's fine. It's a little cold sometimes, but then it gets over 8, good again. But heat, yes. Cold, no. No, 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 no. I don't mind it being cold like indoors, but cold outside, just miserable. Just makes me sad. -40 is better than 90s? Oh my gosh, no. -40 is so no, 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 no. -40 is unbearable, like it's dangerously cold. 90s is like, oh, you didn't drink enough water, dummy. That's very dismissive of heat stroke and heat exhaustion. But if it's 90, you can be uncomfortable, but you aren't gonna die. You're gonna be fine. Just drink some water, eat a little bit more, and you're gonna be fine. To 40, you can die quickly. Don't. Don't. It's not better. Death. Actual death. Body. Don't do that. You can dress up for cold, but you can only undress so much before you get arrested. Yeah. I've heard it, but it's just the misery of being unbearably cold versus sweating too much is a misery that I will always take. I will always have my clothes on and sweat and say, this is warmer than I like it to be, than be bundled up beyond belief and be absolutely miserable, be unable to enjoy my life outside, be unable to do it in sports. And yes, I played soccer in the snow a lot. I've played disc golf in the snow, and it sucks. It is just a miserable existence. But when it's too hot out, you can handle it. Like I've played disc golf in real feel 113 degrees this month. Well, last month. It was July. Last month. And it's not the most fun, but I will willingly participate in that because it's worth doing. Negative 40? No. Not worth going outside. Absolutely not. 95 degrees is okay. Brent says 95 degrees is awful. It's not ideal. It's a little hot, but it's not awful. Humble says, I'm built like a husky stuck in Arizona. To be fair, I understand that. My grandparents had a husky. If you're really, really built to handle the cold weather and not the heat, I understand. That does make a difference. That does make a difference. I get it. Some people are lizards, others are walking boilers. Yeah, that there are differences. 90s, I just can't breathe. I'll take negative 40. Have you ever been out in negative 40? You can't breathe. There's no air left. The oxygen molecules have been frozen and fallen to the ground. There's nothing left to get through your lungs. You get a little breath of wind, you're like, no, absolutely not. I do not accept your 90s, you can't breathe, but negative 40 is fine. No, I fully reject that. I don't think you, Doc, have you ever been in negative 40? It is miserable. I believe it's at negative 50 that if you spit, it freezes before it hits the ground. I'm typing very slowly. No, I don't want your AI crap. Stop it. Yeah, negative 40. Spit freezes before it hits the ground. So talk about breathing. Literally, your breath is turning to ice in your lungs. Like, no. Negative 40 hurts. Mustache and hair froze last time. Yes. And that's somebody with mustache and hair. Like, you don't have that. Ugh, toast. Brent literally sweated to death in 73 degrees inside last night trying to sleep. 73 is what I cool my room to. 73 is not sweat weather. What are you talking about? You guys are good night. You can't handle anything. You steam when you're in the snow. That's funny. Coldest was negative 60 off the lake with wind chill. Gave up on fishing and just drank. I would give up on fishing at negative 60. I would give up on fishing at negative 10, probably, personally. But I get it. Like, you want ice fish. Totally makes sense. Negative 60. Oh. How do you sweat in 73 degrees? That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even think that's possible if you're just lying there trying to sleep. Man forgot to take off the comforter first and try to fall asleep. Negative 10, or if it gets down to the 80s. Oh, Doc says, well, don't spit. Yeah, okay. That's the real thing to observe here. It was last night. If it was so hot, it wasn't just 73. It was probably 84. 73 degrees is not so hot. Like literally, I'm in a shorts and t-shirt right now, and I'm like, once I finish the stream, I'm gonna go put a blanket on my legs because I'm just a little bit chilly in this 73-degree cold air. Yep, my thermostat is set to 73 right now. No covers, 2 box fans? Dude, I'd be shivering. Are you kidding? Jeez. It was 73. 73 is not hot. I'm gonna have to end the stream just to get toxicity of Doc and Brent telling me that 73 is overheating weather. Humidity is a factor, but again, 3 years in Florida, like, bring it on. Humidity is fine. No, I do understand people are different. As much as I want to make fun of Brent because he's weak, humidity is a big impact. People are different. I get it. I'm a very slender person. I don't have much body fat, and even compared to a lot of athletes, I don't have much body fat. So when I get cold, it's miserable. But when I'm hot, it's not that miserable. So yeah, some of it's personal preference, but also Brent and Doc are completely wrong. Meemaw, hope you get warmed up. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate that. I take that to heart. 69 in my house year round, and it's dang expensive, but I need it. Yeah, body fat and hair matter. Yes, it's true. 78 in summer, 65 in winter. Buddy is saving everything on his heating, but paying for it. 78 is a little bit uncomfortable inside. I do prefer 73, but 65 is cold. It's cold. Yeah. Chilling it down to 69 is like about as cold as I could manage. It's about as cold as I could manage. That's chilly. That is chilly. Brent would literally never let the heat kick on if it were your choice. Right. Don't mind 78. Work in a factory. Keep it right there. Hey, Steven. What's up, Steven? I am about to wrap up the stream, but Steven will help us because he is used to the cold. Steven, negative 40 degrees or 95? Which one do you choose? AC is set to 69 degrees. Love this community already. Y'all are great. I'm glad you're a part of it. It's really great. Steven says long week of work. Okay. All right. And Steven says sadly 95 because Steven knows. Right. What did I ask? I asked which is worse or which is better. I asked which is better, right? Anyway, I think Steven's saying that 95 is preferable to negative 40 because negative 40 is so miserable. And 95 is very uncomfortable for some people, but it is not that level of miserable. I did say earlier that 80 degrees is cold outside. Outside. Technically, I actually said it's not even 80, it's cold. I believe is what I said. 95 is less bad. Go for 95 or 30 degrees. That's a much better comparison. 80 is not cold. 80 is a little cool outside. Inside it's hot, but outside it's a little cool. We'll see how I feel. Well, 74. That's chilly. That's chilly. Especially if it's cloudy out. Blame the 80s. I love it. Yeah, 95 degrees or 30 degrees. That's a good comparison because 30 is not enjoyable, but as long as you can get the blood flowing in your fingers, disc golf is on. And 95 gets uncomfortable, and if you start sweating, that's difficult to deal with. And if you're in the sunshine, that's a lot. It's a lot to handle. I would still pick 95. But it's a lot closer. It's a lot closer. Doc likes 60s. Humble says 70 is peak, 65 is golden range. Steven says 70-degree weather. False says 65 all the way. I'm definitely a 78 degrees outside, 72 degrees person. Oh, 20. I would 100 or 20. I'd probably still pick 100, but it's pushing it. That's really pushing it. 60 is good if you have a sweater for shade or wind. Hot in the sun, cold in the shade. Gotta love it. Where are all these sweaters y'all speak of? Doc says. 67.8 degrees for Brent. It's a perfect. Next week I'll run a poll of what temperature is worse, or maybe should I do which is worse or what's the ideal temperature? Maybe I'll do ideal temperature. There is 0 worse than 95 and humid. Negative 40 is worse. Shorts and t-shirt year round unless you're going to church. That's funny because at church they're like khaki shorts and I wear my V-neck shirts. So it's not technically a t-shirt at church, but I do dress casually at church. Yeah. So that is kind of funny. But it's technically dressing up from what I normally wear. I do wear jeans when it's cold though. Fancy. Go to a more conservative church. I grew up in a more conservative church, and I thought the expectations for dress were ridiculous because God doesn't care what you look like as long as you are modest and appropriate. God is not more honored by your worship if you're wearing the right clothing, or if you spend the right money on the right hats for Easter, or if you have the shinier shoes. It's not biblical to have a spiritual connection to the way that you dress. However, I accept the social component to dressing well for gathering together to share in worship, but it is not a spiritual thing. It is a social thing. My church growing up made it a spiritual thing that you wear your best for God. And I'm like, no, that's not for him. That's for you. Because I am not dressing in front of his eyes and you want me to wear certain things. So no, that is not something that I value as an adult. It is absolutely something that socially, if there is an expectation, I understand. I'm not going to be rude, but I will absolutely dismiss anyone who tries to tie it to spirituality and say that you need to dress this way to do right. Garbage. Anyway, I do understand all old people. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Negative 40 or Texas 110, 75 dew point and 68% humidity. I haven't gotten Texas heat yet. 110 is so hot. I don't know how it feels compared to Florida's 110. Man, that's a lot. I would take 110, I think. But I might shave my head. Texas, I agree about clothes. God will forgive us. It's the neighbors I worry about. Jesus washes people's feet. Can't do that if you're wearing $600 designer shoes. That's true. I like it. Where did you get the disc golf shelf? This was handmade for me actually by an in-law. He handcrafted this, and I was like blown away. It is so amazing. It comes apart in two pieces. So I have the underside storage and the shelf top, and these sliders are adjustable, so you can move them around. I really need to stop talking. You move it around for how much you want to store in certain places. So handmade. Yeah. It's brutal. Florida is like you're running through water. Texas is like you're being microwaved. An in-law, no, he made you that. He's just family. Yeah, definitely family. The oxygen in your lungs is burning 110. I believe that. I think I understand the dry, sorry, I don't want to say dry heat, but compared to Florida's humidity, the dry heat of like you breathe and feel the heat in your lungs. That's crazy. All right. It's been a lot of fun, guys. I'm going to wrap things up. So, any last words? Go ahead and throw out a question on the way out or any other comments. Otherwise, quick reminder the Redemption disc giveaway. Check out that disc respectful doubles video that I have on my channel. Leave a comment and you'll be entered to win the redemption. Also, make sure you're subscribed to me. Yeah, that giveaway entry period ends on Saturday, August, I said October 9th at 11:59 p.m. And then I will be giving away the disc during the live stream next week. Clearly, I'm tired and I don't know what else to say. So I'm going to be wrapping things up. Different kind of pain. Like I need to vape chapstick. That's good. Haven't played disc golf since the circuit challenge. Missed it so bad. Dang, Steven. Hope you get out soon. Hope you get out soon and recover from your week of work, dude. Get some rest. Brent says, good night, drive safe, everyone. Yeah, Brent, drive safe. And shoot, dude, I don't know. I'll have to text you about playing in the morning because I'm not hoping to play that early. I don't want to play twice. Anyway, I'll text Jared and see what's up. Humble says, good stream, good talking to y'all. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Brad, don't forget Brent's discs. Thanks, Doc. All right. Peace out, guys.